sexual innuendos. I thought you would find humor in it. Never mind.
Yeah, that was like really outdone.
It was funny.
Yeah, but the nice buns thing referring to like hamburger buns is like outdone. Like, oh, nice buns. Like,
It was funny at like 6 o'clock in the morning. It was pretty funny.
Oh, by the way, like sometime in the podcast, we gotta make sure everybody know that Karen's birthday is tomorrow. Well, it'll be today when you.
So right now.
Yeah. So when you post it, it
so
will
if
be
it's Wednesday,
Karen's birthday.
people, it's Karen's birthday.
Yeah. So make sure you say happy
Wednesday,
birthday,
You're
Karen.
a son
September.
of a bitch. You're a son of a
18th.
bitch. You know that? You really
September-
are a son of a
Happy
bitch.
birthday.
September 18th.
It's not, though.
Say happy birthday.
Is it actually or is?
How old are you? 40?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're topping that hill.
Yeah, I know. It's cool.
It's all downhill from here, though. It's all easy going.
Yeah.
You're not
Sure.
far behind.
Your
What?
body starts to betray you at this point.
My body has already betrayed me.
That check engine light comes on when you're 30.
That's your 100,000 mile mark right there.
Oh.
That's where you got to get the expensive oil and all that stuff. I don't mean like.
About the only thing I
oil.
got really is like my left knee sucks sometimes. Not very often, but sometimes.
Your left knee sucks.
Yeah, like it hurts sometimes.
Maybe you should stay off of them.
Just the one,
Yeah, well, maybe you're putting more weight on that one than the other one.
probably.
Does he hang a little more to the left? Is that the problem?
That's the problem.
Oh boy! See, you're right. I do like sexual.
See, that's what I'm saying. If somebody had said that at 6 o'clock in the morning, you would have been over there laughing like a hyena.
I think it
You
depends
would
on the
too.
context of the situation,
Exactly.
and how well I knew them, and like
If
you know
somebody
what I
said
mean?
that's
You're
like,
now you're just adding too many
if somebody said it's
variables
like,
to the
you know,
equation.
like one step below the CEO, you would have laughed.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Only if it's going to get
That's
some,
the context.
if it's going to
of
give me some brownie points, like, that was funny, Jay.
Okay, but
Stupid.
that's the context of it. Is that like, you know, somebody had the guts to say that to someone like that. It was funny to me.
No.
Because it was kind of like out of nowhere. You were like, it was fun. Anyway.
I don't know. Nobody tells me I got nice buns anymore.
We're getting old.
It's the check engine light.
It's the
Check
check
engine
engine
light.
light. Right now it's saying, your rear end is going out.
I get told I get a froggy butt.
Froggy butt?
Yeah, it's like a frog butt. Just
Oh.
That's just an old guy thing. We're getting old, man.
yeah.
Your butt just becomes part of your back and your
Yeah.
legs.
You just scratch it off when you get older.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it's
what
just-
happens. You know.
It's what it is. And I think it's because whenever you get home, you don't have the energy to exercise or do anything extracurricular, so you just sit on your ass. Eventually it just flattens out.
Actually, I got power to my shed now, so
Wait,
Is
so
that a
you're
sexual
doing some
innuendo
squats?
or
no, I'm gonna be out there now.
Doing some squats
Power out
so
there.
you can get a butt.
yeah, I'll get some power to your shed.
Uh-huh.
Here we go. See?
All right, welcome back to the Bonsai movie crew.
Made
Full
it 3
3
minutes.
minutes.
in.
Made it
Mostly-
3.5 minutes. this
Mostly
time.
sexual innuendo.
Well, you know.
Hey, we've been doing good for like a good solid month or so, not having sexual innuendos in the beginning.
I doubt it.
I was gonna say the first like couple weeks that I was here, every episode of the
Oh, it was, like,
beginning
right
of
at the beginning.
episode, someone would talk about nuts.
Yeah, and we've been doing good.
Yeah, it's been a while,
We've been doing good
but
until you had to bring up buns from buns.
That was funny.
Nuns with buns.
nuns with buns.
Nuns
Anyway.
with
why
guns.
don't most nuns, whenever
Wait,
they're like
nuns
young and
don't work
stuff-
on Sundays. It's gotta be the funniest thing ever.
But like, why do most nuns? Why are they all hot? Like, if they're not old, they're hot.
I think it's the okay. So
It's the taboo
It's like-
thought
it's
of
the
it.
what you can't, what is
Yeah.
denied as much
exactly,
desired.
exactly.
Yep.
I'm not denied a nun. I don't want.
Oh, you were
a nun.
totally
You were
denying a nun
totally
because
denying a
they're
nun.
I don't
yeah.
want a nun.
Well, that's why you think they're hot because you don't know what's under that cowl.
You
man.
can't have it.
Yeah, you
Yep.
can't have it. You're like, oh, she's got
No
to be
touchy.
hot. Yep.
You've looked at a nun before. course.
That's why
Of course
some.
I
That's
have.
why. But that's why some women have like a
There's
married
always a
man
desire.
fetish. Like they're only attracted to married men because
And then as
they
soon as
can't
that man
have it.
see that's what it
And
always
Yeah.
as soon as that married man leaves
Yeah.
his wife, they are no
They're-
longer
yeah, they don't
attracted.
want
They
him.
don't
They-
want him anymore.
Yeah. It's true too.
Seriously,
Not saying that I get hit on much,
it's a
but,
whole fucked up thing.
but like Crystal, she gets hit on all the time.
Yeah,
All the
there's men
time.
out there that have the same thing.
And I bet if she was, I don't know, if she was single, she'd probably just still get hit on all the time. Because men are fucking horny.
Yeah, guys.
Men are
Women
horny.
are just as shady,
Regardless.
though. I'm sorry.
Shady,
I think,
yes, but not horny. Like, men are horny.
yeah,
They're
well,
dogs.
They are. They're dogs.
there's
Yeah.
some women out there that are just like
Some are,
that.
yeah, but not like dudes. Dudes
But
are all
yeah.
walking around with permanent hard-ons.
Yeah.
And, like, so she works in in an office, she works at the front desk, so there's constantly dudes in and out. Picking up
Guys getting
paychecks, all
new
this stuff. So
jobs.
they're all, like, hitting on her and stuff, and it's like, for one, dude, this is a temp service, and you're hitting on her, which tells me, like, that, well, for one, she's like, obviously, I've come farther in life than you. Also, you need help getting a job. Like, that's flag number one. So,
Didn't she go
I bet
through
you
that
live with your
service
mom
to
still.
Get that job?
huh?
Didn't she go through that service to get that job?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fucked
she did.
up.
She didn't go through the service to get the job. She went through the service, and they were like, "Hey, you'd be perfect for our receptionist job instead of putting her somewhere." They're like, "Why don't you just apply with us?" So she's like, "Okay."
So it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. She always wanted to work in an office anyway.
She went there with the intention of getting a job, and she got the job there.
See, I got a winner for a wife. She can be a wiener sometimes too, though. Anyway,
That's what
love her to death,
you
though.
are. What you eat.
Winner for the wiener.
I am what I eat. Yeah, my dad called me a pussy a lot growing up.
Did he though?
He was
No.
mean. My dad was mean. He called me an asshole a few times, which
I
I
was
don't
talking
know.
about Crystal because you called her a wiener. I said you are what you eat.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
We won't go there. I'm not putting my wife's shit on blast.
We have more class than that.
We don't, but
Barely.
Barely.
Barely above
like-
that.
We're at that
if
fine
she was
line.
here, then we would probably talk. Then I would be more comfortable talking about it.
He's
Because
trying to do a
then she could tell me to
back
shut the
bend on
fuck
that
up.
rope.
Yeah, she could be here to defend herself. That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the defining mark.
Dad's just trying to do a back bend on that rope.
I mean, she does back bends.
Here we
I wonder
are.
if she can still get her legs up over her head. She used to.
I thought we weren't going there.
Sorry. Well, you're the one who brought it up, dude.
You're the one that said you weren't going there, and then you went there.
You keep bringing it up.
I didn't bring it up.
Anyway, let's
Let's
move
keep
on.
it going. Let's keep going back and forth.
Let's move on. So welcome back, Bonsai Movie Crew. Don't forget to check out all the social stuff down there for all that stuff. You know where it is. It's all down in the or description. Damn, I can't talk today.
That stuff.
Comment happy birthday.
Comment happy birthday to Karen. Tell Karen it's happy 40th birthday. You old bitch. Jeremiah's like, yeah.
You're half right.
But Jeremiah's like, what, 42? 41?
He's 42.
Just to
He'll
remind
be
you,
42.
I'm
Yeah.
Why
younger
is
than
there
you.
so much, Dad?
He's a year older than me, so
Okay.
he'll be 42.
I'm
All right.
younger than you.
So, anyway,
Obviously.
let's move on here. Let's go ahead and jump.
Fucking
I don't have
child.
anything for the internet. Let's go ahead and jump right into our creator profile.
Okay.
Anyway, anybody want to guess who it is this week?
Is it his dad?
Jerry Stiller?
Yeah.
No. And I didn't realize it until after we watched the movie, but Judd Apatow wrote this movie, helped write this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's one of his. He's actually like. This is one of his movies he's like most proud of. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Hmm.
It's the camera guy. I can't remember his name.
Oh, the guy from all the
Oh.
other
Yeah.
movies. No.
God, who else was in it?
The counselor dude.
Yeah.
No. What else would he have done? What else have you seen him in other than this?
Oh, the other counselor guy.
The German
he was
dude.
in Critters too. That's the only other guy I know that's.
Was he?
Yeah.
Is it Kenan?
Kenan Thompson.
There we go.
Yeah. I think he's a good one to do. He's had a pretty good career. He was on
Goldberg.
all
No.
that. He was
Goldberg. Yeah, there you go.
he was on
Good burger.
Good Burger.
Yeah, I'm
he
saying-
did a lot of Nickelodeon stuff. Kenan and Kel. Now he's got a part. He's been on fucking SNL for years now. He's
Yeah.
probably the longest cast member ever because he's been on there for I bet probably 10 or 15 years.
Mm.
Kenan Thompson has been.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. I don't know if he's the longest cast member though.
I'm
I feel
pretty
like,
sure he is.
I feel like somebody's been on there longer than
I'm
that.
gonna look it up.
All
real
that?
quick.
Yeah, I do because I feel like there's been somebody longer than
Go ahead
that,
and start reading,
but
Madison.
I could be wrong.
Never leave from the sun.
You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you. Kenan Thompson.
fuck, Keisha.
Do you
Already.
want to read it? Do you want to read it?
I mean, I can if you want me to.
You got to get up and get it. I don't feel like it.
Kenan Thompson.
Go.
He's challenging me right now.
Go.
Holy shit. I take that back. Kenan Thompson currently holds the record at a whopping 21 seasons.
Holy shit.
21.
Jesus. His closest competition is Daryl Hammond, who starred for 14 seasons before leaving and then returning to the show's returning as the show's announcer.
Mm.
Jesus. 21 seasons. It ain't been 21 years though. I don't do a season every year.
No, I don't.
I think it's a season.
so.
I think it's like a season and a half a year or something like that.
Yeah, something.
Because I know they
weird.
stop for a while. Because I think they stop for like the summer or something, and take a break, and then they continue back in.
Yeah, they do teachers' hours. Some shit.
Yeah,
Like,
it's weird.
Yeah.
They stop for so long, and they do.
'cause it seems like SNL's on all the time.
it does. It does. Because I don't know how they do their seasons, but I know it's not 21. He hasn't been on for 21 years.
No.
So because that'd be fucking outrageous.
No, because he's pretty much our age.
No, he's way older than us.
Is he?
Oh yeah, he's like
This
like
was
50.
in '95, so. And I was in
Well-
5th grade in '95. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he might not be that much older than us, I guess.
So I'm saying, so he would have been about 12.
I guess he would probably be about 40, 45.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So there's no way he's been on there for 21 years.
Well, she's about to tell us when he was born, so.
Thank you. 1978 in Columbus, Ohio.
He was born in Columbus, Ohio in
Okay, so he's
1978.
6 years older than me.
Yeah. So he'd be 46, yeah.
Almost 50.
Almost close.
So he's pretty close.
His
There's no way
parents
he's
are
been
Fletcher
on
and
for 21
Elizabeth,
years.
and his parents are Fletcher and Elizabeth Ann Thompson. He has 2 siblings, an older brother and a younger sister. His family moved to Atlanta, Georgia when he was 9 months old. Thompson's mother enrolled him in acting classes at age
21 years.
5.
Yeah. Since 2003. Holy shit.
His first
Okay.
role was as Toto in a church production of The Wiz. Had no lines. He continued acting throughout his youth, appearing in school plays such as The Gingerbread Duck. He auditioned for a theater company, the Youth Ensemble of Atlanta. As a child, he was a fan of The Price is Right, which he has called My First Love and very joyful viewing that shaped his acting style.
The Price is Right shaped his acting style?
I guess so.
It's a
1994,
fucking game show.
2002.
Well, he's loud.
Breakthrough with Kenan and Kel.
Usually.
Come on down to The Price is Right. I grew up on The Price is Right too. Actually, my grandma and my Aunt Erie, who both passed away, were both on The Price is Right together.
Sweet.
But they didn't get called, but they were in the crowd.
Oh,
So they could have gotten called.
yeah.
Bummer.
Man, whenever you were sick, it was Price is Right.
Soap
and
operas.
So I didn't really watch. So I did Price is Right and all them judge shows,
Mhm.
and then later it was all those talk shows like Who's the Daddy and
Yep.
Dark
Like
Shadows.
Like Maury
I
and
love
shit.
that
Yeah.
show.
what the fuck Jerry Springer.
Oh, Jerry Springer. I watched
Yeah.
the fuck out of Jerry Springer.
Oh, yeah.
Because you didn't have to have cable to watch Jerry,
No.
Oh. Mm-mm.
and he used to be the mayor of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
So he got
always-
caught banging a prostitute.
I mean, par for the course.
Yeah.
Grandma
That's cool, though.
Grandma always had that Dark Shadows on.
Oh yeah,
Dark Shadows.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I couldn't do it.
One of Thompson's earliest roles was as an entertainment reporter for CNN's Real News for Kids. He went on to star in the original run of All That for its first 5 seasons, playing such characters as Principal Pimple,
Mm-hmm.
Miss Pidlin,
Compel.
Yeah, Pimpel. Yeah,
Pimpel.
because wasn't she played by Lori Beth Denberg or whatever?
No, he played Principal
Principal
Compel.
because
Oh,
he had
yeah,
the
yeah.
big
Miss
giant pimple on his
Pidlin.
forehead.
He was also
Pierre Escargot,
Pizza Boy.
Yeah.
Or-
and
What
Super
was
Dude.
the one in the bathtub?
oh yeah, he'd always like say words in French,
Yeah.
and he's like, ho 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 ho.
But it wasn't even French. It was
No, it was some random shit.
bastardized version of English.
Yeah. And it'd be some random fucking phrase. There's a toenail in my soup. Like what?
Or maybe it even was French, but it was some stupid
Quote.
like you said it was. There's a toenail in my soup.
He starred as Kenan Rockmore on Nickelodeon's Kenan and Kel from 1996 to 2000, mostly while still working on All That. He began acting in his first
Who
film,
loves orange
The Mighty
soda?
Ducks, while attending Tri-Cities High School, a visual and performing arts magnet school in East Point, Georgia. Thompson has starred in several films, including Good
Pierre
Burger,
Escargot.
1997, based on All That sketch of the same title, and Fat Albert, 2004, in which he played the title character.
I remember that. I forgot about that.
He has also had supporting roles in The Mighty Ducks, 1994,
Mm-hmm.
The Mighty Ducks
Another role where he played
2
with Goldberg.
and 3,
always
as
say
well
Goldberg,
as
but
films as
it's got-
Heavyweights, Big Fat Liar, Love Don't Cost a Thing, and My Boss's Daughter in 2003. 2003, Saturday Night Live, and Acclaim. Thompson in 2012.
You good?
Thought you were going to say something.
No.
You always take a breath like that before you say something. You do, you go, and by the way, and then you talk and talk and talk and talk with that one breath.
Did you know?
But, like, it sounds like that one breath. Just saying. Thompson in 2012, Thompson returned to sketch comedy when he joined the cast of Saturday Night Live.
Did you know?
And another
In
thing.
2003.
And another thing.
One of these days,
say that a
she's
lot,
just gonna
too.
lose it.
And another thing. Did I mention? Oh, yeah.
About that.
Wait, did I tell you guys? Thompson said he had sent several audition tapes to SNL, which dismissed
Said,
him
bitch.
as looking too young. He said it was a couple years worth of that. Thompson said that he feared his addition to the cast would be a disservice to the show. It was weird for me for a long time. Thompson was a featured player until 2005, spanning the 29th and 30th seasons. And was promoted to reportery player. It's a weird word, reportery. At the beginning of this.
Reportedly?
It says reportery.
Or pottery.
Repertory. Tory.
Repertory.
Repertoire.
There's a
Repertoire.
Y at the end.
Mhm.
Repertory.
I got this off of Wikipedia, so it might not be spelled correctly.
That's not a thing. That's not a real word. They're making shit up.
Wiki? Oh.
It's a real thing. It's from Wikipedia.
Oh!
I was going to correct it.
There is no correction to be made.
Yes, there is. Just keep reading.
Player at the beginning.
You're gonna fuck me up.
The player at the beginning of season
The
31.
ladder.
There is no ladder, Dad. Get with the program.
Yeah, there is. I'm going to fucking choke you out with it.
Where?
Huh?
You gotta catch me first.
I won't have to. I'll just throw the ladder at you.
You gotta be able to throw it first.
What's that meme where
The mummy, like when he throws the fucking
No,
chair.
no, it's just the one where the dude's like ladder just like extends and then bonks the dude on the head. You ever see that one?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'll have to find it and send it to you. It's fucking hilarious.
Played at the beginning of season 31. In 2013, he became he began refusing to portray black women characters on the show and demanded SNL hire black women instead. Thompson has been a cast member on SNL
mean,
for
for real,
20
though.
I was gonna say that seems like a pretty
It is
reasonable
like a pretty
request.
reasonable request, yeah. Like,
Thompson has been a cast member on SNL for 21 years, breaking the record for the longest. You could have just waited.
I could have. I want to do the research myself.
I'm sure this is from the same website, too.
I don't know. I got it off of Google. Google polls from other websites.
Like Wikipedia.
Maybe.
Breaking the record for the longest tenured cast member in the show's history, previously held by Daryl Hammond, who was on the show for 14 years. Thompson became the most senior cast member in the second half of the 2013-14 season. Following the departure of Seth Meyers. He is also the longest-serving African-American cast member, surpassing Tim Meadows, who stayed on the show for 10 seasons. Thompson also holds the record for most celebrity impressions performed on the show, performing 139,
Yeah, if you've been on there for
beating
21
Hammond's
fucking
previous
years.
record of 107. This is better source needed after that. You need to stop pulling from Wiki.
I don't like to,
Weird.
but they didn't have a biography on him. Biography.com didn't have a biography for him.
Right. No, I got that. I just kicked something. I didn't know what it was.
The table.
Yeah.
Nope,
Reading.
that's a rope light.
Come on.
Rope light.
Pretty sure it was this. What is this?
Rope light.
Okay. Although early on he planned to stay on the show until something else came along, by 2019 he noted that SNL was his forever plan. Thompson has been nominated for 5 Primetime Emmys for his work on SNL, winning once. He has thrice, oh my god, just say 3 times, been nominated for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series in 2018, 2000 and 2020 and 2021 for co-writing the song Last Christmas in 2017. He wrote that song? Last Christmas I gave you my heart, and the very next
No.
day you gave it away?
No, that was from like the 80s.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what's Last Christmas? Is that different?
It's probably an SNL thing that they did on SNL. They do those music skits or whatever.
I think that my guess.
Continue.
I would agree.
Why are you staring at me? Just read the fucking thing.
This
You're the reason
this
for-
might be the day.
You're the reason for all the like dead, silent pauses in the show. Usually it's because of you.
Awfully
It's
quiet.
for
Day that he kills her.
ambiance.
So if I
Ambiance is
shove
for
my foot up your
romance.
ass, is that for ambiance too?
No, because then there'd be noise.
Ambiance is for
Yeah, you
dates.
screaming.
Put that cookie down!
Ambiance is for dates, not for podcasts.
Right?
I have to agree with your
See,
father
there's
on
more of
this.
that
Man, it was
silence.
silent.
I have to agree with your
It's a
father
part
on
of my
this one.
personality. Leave me alone.
I'm
No,
sorry.
silence is not ever part of your personality.
Actually, it is. It's just not around you.
Silence.
Because she says things, and I'm like, you know,
Makes your brain
the next
hurt.
sound you're gonna hear is like that's the next sound.
A thump. Ow! Fuck! Stop hitting me!
And then you're only going to hear 3 voices the rest of the podcast.
We're gonna go over here. We're gonna be over here. Like I'm gonna cut it off. Next thing you know, she's gonna be like, I'm gonna be over here drawing eyes over her eyelids. She's alive. See, look, she moves.
Say hi, Madison.
And I'll be like, over here, I'll be over here in your arm, like, hey.
It'll duct tape me up, Dad. Duct tape me up.
No, I'll attach strings to her, and I'll just be like pulling strings. She'd be like, yeah.
Eric will work her legs. I
Yeah.
got her arms. You've got her head.
Yeah.
Using
My
your,
legs. Why
just
do
use
you
your
need to
feet,
see my
like
legs
the
for?
Just every now and then your
Pulleys.
legs should move.
Oh yeah, I actually move my feet.
That's
a lot.
what I'm saying. You can see them.
pulleys
So
to the
they've gotta move
ceiling
from time
to your
to time.
feet. It's where you just do this with
I
your
just
feet.
do
Just
this.
move her hands up and down.
Just kick.
And her
me
hands
every
are just
once in a
doing
while.
this.
Yeah.
Eh.
This conversation is going on more
Smacks herself in the face.
uncomfortably than I thought.
Like, Madison, what are you doing over there?
Comfortable amount of time.
Nothing.
As if it's been thought about.
As if you're planning.
Improve your protection. Your computer needs a condom. I thought you said this wasn't the porn computer.
It's only his computer, so if it is, it's a personal problem.
Probably Gavin down here on my computer again. Keep going. I'll read.
You're gonna lose your reading privileges.
You are going to lose your reading privileges.
Thompson
Speak
has
up.
been nominated for Fred. See, now I don't know where I am because you guys were making fun of me. Sorry, Dad was making fun of me.
No, we all were. Definitely.
No,
all
it
were.
was just you.
Now you've put Eric to sleep.
Now we're going to have to attach strings to him.
Oh, God.
Heavy ass strings.
You guys time to
Nominated-
review. Eric's over there. 2. Terminator 2 was better.
2017, he was nominated for Outstanding Original Music and Lyrics, an award he then won in 2018 for the lyrics to Come Back Barack. Okay.
Or sorry, not
No, you just
Transformers 2.
have a string to do this.
Yeah. Whatever one you hit, you hit.
It just hits.
Like,
It worked. Just put it right here on this one.
In 2014, SNL head writer Brian H. Tucker noted that, simply putting, Kenan Reacts would get a script more laughs, further elaborating, put him in your sketch somewhere, anywhere, and your sketch will get better. Because Kenan knows how to take ordinary lines and make them funny, and take funny lines and make them special. Similarly, Lorne Michaels in a 2019 article referred to Thompson as the person I most rely on in the cast. Vulture referred to him as the heir apparent to Phil Hartman, both being the glue of their respective casts. Thompson's celebrity impressions on SNL include AI Sharpton, Whoopi Goldberg,
Al Sharpton.
AR.
It looks like AI.
That's
It's a
even better.
lowercase L and lowercase
I thought for a second, is that
Lowercase
literally a
I.
character maybe they
I was
have?
like,
But I was
what?
like,
AI
no.
Sharpton? Is that something I've never seen?
Artificial
Like, I thought maybe they
intelligence
made, like, a
Al
joke out of Al
Sharpton.
Sharpton, but I was like, no, I don't think that's a
Listen,
thing.
you guys, the lowercase L looks like an uppercase I. It looks like AI.
I understand.
I've seen the word AI all over the place here
I
recently.
understand. I get it.
And you
No,
never see anyone
I can
named
understand
Al.
that. I can understand the association. I get it. I get it.
Bill Cosby. Charles Barkley. David Ortiz. Ortiz. O.J. Simpson. Orange Juice Simpson. And Steve Harvey.
That's why they call him the Juice.
Do they actually call him that, or did you
I've
just
heard,
make
yeah,
I've
that
heard
up?
people call him the
They
Juice.
did, yeah.
They call him the Juice.
Wasn't his name like Orlando something or?
It's not Orlando Jones, but
No, it's like Orlando.
I don't know what his real name
or-
is.
Shit, I used to could.
A commemoration of his 20th anniversary on the show, Thompson received a
That's
star
gonna
on
bother
the Hollywood Walk of Fame on August 11th, 2022. He was placed next to Lorne Michaels' star of film and television roles. During this time, he has also
Oh,
taken
yeah, that's
supporting
weird. It's a
roles in
weird
Barbershop 2, Back in Business, and Snakes on a Plane.
Why are you looking
Um,
up O.J. Simpson?
In 2009,
Orenthal.
Thompson was a
Orenthal
regular
James.
voice
Oh.
actor in the Fox animated series Sit Down, Shut Up, portraying Sue Cesno, who, like her last name, always says no. The series... that was a knee slapper, guys. Did you get the joke?
I got it.
Yeah? Did you
Sue
get the-
says no because she always says no.
Yeah.
We got it.
Does she ever say yes?
Guys. Well, then
No.
it'd be against her nature.
She never says no. She never says yes. It's always no.
She says
No.
Just continue reading. Let's go. Come on.
Talking to Eric.
We're a half hour into this, and we're still reading the creator
It's
profile.
better than last week. Last week we got really far, but we still made it on time, and I think we were even a little bit early.
It was over 2 hours long. It wasn't early.
Was it? Okay, well, us recording was under 2 hours. I'm sure it was over 2 hours after everything.
He's gonna kill you. This is gonna be the episode where you're gonna die.
He's gotta catch me first. I keep saying that. No one's listening.
I'm listening, but I can't listen if you don't read.
Oh, Karen, that one stung. I love you.
I love you too. That's why I want you to live.
Okay. I'll take your point of view into perspective.
I want you to live.
Okay.
Live, damn you, live.
This is my version of CPR.
The series premiered on April 19th, 2009, but was canceled after only 4 episodes due to low ratings and poor reviews. Thompson voiced the LeBron James puppet in the Nike's MVP Most Valuable Puppets commercials, which were produced to be shown throughout the 2009 NBA playoffs. Thompson also guest starred as Gus's estranged college singing buddy on the USA Network series Psych. In the 4th season episode High Top Fade Out in 2011, he returned to Nickelodeon guest starring in I Party with Victorious, a crossover episode of sitcoms iCarly and Victorious. Thompson appeared as a host of sorts on Teen Nick's retro programming block, The 90s Are All That, appearing in many of the block's early bumpers and hyping material. He would return to the block, eventually called Nick Rewind, but at the time called that The Splat, for All That's 22nd anniversary. With segments filmed at 2015 New York Comic-Con. I thought it was Comic-Con, not Comic-Con. I always say
Convention.
Comic-Con.
Everybody does.
Comic-Con.
He's usually at 90s Con, too.
Thompson at a Washington Capitals event with the Stanley Cup in 2018 and 2015 film ticketing website Fandango announced that Thompson will play their brand character Miles Mavet. Is that right?
I don't know that name.
Neither do I.
Doesn't sound familiar at all.
Thompson will play Mavet in 18 videos, 8 30-second commercials, and several comedic skits. On September 23rd, 2015, Thompson appeared on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon alongside former All That co-star Kel Mitchell.
Kel Mitchell.
That's what I said. In which they reprised their popular Good Burger roles with Ed and Lester Oaks, construction worker. They later competed against one another in an episode of the revived Nickelodeon game show Double Dare that aired in November 2018 and 2019. Thompson served as a judge for NBC's comedy competition series Bring the Funny. He also became an executive producer with Mitchell for Nickelodeon's All That revival, premiering in June. In May 2019, NBC announced that they had picked up Thompson's single-camera comedy, The Kenan Show, to series. The series, retitled Kenan, premiered in 2021 on NBC, featuring Thompson as a newly widowed father determined to be a super dad. He was nominated for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series after its first season. In May 2022, the series was canceled after its second season. He appears in the 3rd episode of the revival of The Kids in the Hall as Ron, a friend of the kids in the hall.
I didn't know I had a revival.
Neither
Nobody
did I.
told me.
I didn't know it was
sucked.
dead.
I squish you.
And hosted the NHL Rewards in June 2022. He hosted the 74th Primetime Emmy Awards on September 12th, 2022.
We're done. Oh,
No, we're not.
damn.
Personal life. Thompson married model Christina Evangeline.
Sure, eventually.
Christina Evangeline in
That's
2011
Penelope's
on
name.
June 20th, 2014. The couple had their first child, Georgia Marie, On July 31st, 2018, they welcomed their second child, Gianna Michelle, on... Hey, there's that word, Michelle. On April 7th, 2022, it was announced that the two had been separated for over a year and are co-parenting their daughters. On June 15th, 2022, it was announced that Thompson was officially filing for divorce. In 2020, he became the spokesman for Universal Destinations and Experiences Let Yourself Whoa campaign and was set to host the 2020 White House Correspondents' Dinner before it was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. 2021 will also see Thompson be named host of that year's Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards and People's Choice Awards. He also hosted the Jonas Brothers Family Roast on Netflix in December 2021. Thompson co-founded the production company and talent incubator Artists for Artists. Their first announced project, Mike Tyson Undisputed Truth Part 2, is in collaboration with Mike Tyson and his wife, Lakeha. Let's hope she's not a Lakeho.
Are you going to say that about Mike Tyson's old lady?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't.
Mm-mm.
She mean?
No, he's a great... You know who Mike Tyson is?
Nope.
Huh?
Nope.
One of the greatest
Oh,
boxers
fuck.
to ever live.
He's got to catch me first.
Oh, he'll catch you.
Oh,
And then he'll knock the shit out of you because he was a professional boxer.
like one of the meanest and
Yeah,
hardest
one of the best.
hitting.
Have you seen The Hangover?
Yeah, you've seen The Hangover, right? Never seen it?
Because you probably should.
Yeah.
It's one of the funniest fucking movies ever. Did you see Couch Pizza?
Did we
That's one
watch
of
it
my-
on the podcast, The Hangover?
No.
Then no.
That part makes me laugh every time.
He punches him right in the face.
Oh, yeah.
No, when he's like, "Did you just see Couch Pizza?"
So
He's
he's,
like- he's
just
like-
singing that
Kiki.
song.
He's like, man, Mike Tyson's a really nice guy. And
Spicer.
Zach Galifianakis, no, he's
And
not.
a sequel to The Boxers 2013
He knocked me out.
HBO special. In March
There's a tiger in the
2022,
bathroom.
AFA
That part had
fully
me
funded
dying.
the launch of
The tiger in the bathroom.
We're talking about Kenan Thompson, guys. Come on. Not Mike Tyson.
The way he looks over.
In March 2022, AFA fully funded the launch of 22 Entertainment, led by actors Michael Rainey Jr. and Gianna Paolo. Sure. Best known for the Starz series Power Book 2 Ghost. On August 21st, 2024, Thompson appeared at the Democratic National Convention to perform a skit highlighting Project 2025 and tying it to the presidential candidacy of Donald Trump, claiming, "You vote for him, you vote for all of this." In December 2023, Thompson
So
released...
he's anti-Trump then?
Correct.
I thought so.
Who is?
Thompson
Kenan
released
Thompson.
a memoir titled When I Was Your Age. That's it.
All right. Favorite Kenan Thompson show or movie?
No.
You can
Show
say
or
Master
movie?
of Disguise. He was in that.
Movie
I
or
love how
show?
that's what you threw out there.
He didn't do a lot of movies. I don't know what.
I know he didn't do a lot. There's not much to pick. I'm gonna say All That, or yeah,
Mighty Ducks.
yeah. Man,
I'm
there's
saying
Mighty,
Mighty
Ducks.
Oh my god, I love Mighty Ducks. Hold on.
But honestly, I'd have to go back and watch it because I haven't watched it since I was a kid
Yeah,
when it was
I'm
age
a little-
appropriate.
I'm a little skeptical on the Mighty Ducks thing.
Yeah,
'cause
so
I'm not.
I don't know.
I
how long
like
it's
TV
been.
Halloween. That was okay.
Sure.
I'm saying like if you're going for a movie, I'm saying age
Oh, he
appropriate.
did do an episode of the Chucky show. The show
I haven't
Chucky.
watched that, so I
He
can't say
dies.
it.
He's a cab driver, an Uber
fantastic.
driver, and they.
I can say all that though because I have seen episodes in my adulthood and they're still funny. So I'll say all that.
You could say Trolls. Madison. He's in Trolls. He plays the little glitter dude. I'm gonna go ahead and say definitely not Sweet Home Alone.
Yeah, I already went through his whole IMDb.
I'm gonna say
Good luck.
He
Home-
voices the little baby Sparkle, not the actual Sparkle.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I guess. Oh yeah, he was in Smurfs too.
Didn't see it.
Stan Helsing.
Didn't see it.
I think I did. I don't remember. He was in Snakes on a Plane.
Barely remember.
I don't remember either. I'm going to go ahead and go with Karen and say All That. Yeah. And Kenan and Kel, because he was a shit in Kenan and Kel too.
I always thought All That was funnier than Kenan and Kel.
I do too, but I remember Kenan and Kel more as a sitcom.
Yeah,
Because
it was definitely a sitcom versus All
Kel
That
was awesome because it was all about orange soda and all that shit.
orange
Who loves orange soda?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with All That and Kenan and Kel. And I'm going to throw in Heavyweights because I really like Heavyweights. So
Probably Trolls or Mighty Ducks.
I can't say Mighty Ducks because
I'd have to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
I've
sure
gone
it's
back
still
and watched.
good, but
I'm sure it is, but like I've gone back and watched movies that I loved as a kid, and like I'm not entertained anymore.
right.
And it's not that it's a bad movie. I'm not that age anymore.
You're not that age where you need those moral.
Yeah, like it's like there's some movies like Howard the Duck and some of those other movies that, like I watched.
Yeah, but
as
they
a
don't
kid.
come with any like moral lessons.
Well, and they're not necessarily a kid's movie.
right. Yeah.
Right? They're not family movies or
Right.
whatever. Like, anytime I go back and try to watch like a family movie that I liked as a kid, I'm usually
Doesn't
not
land for
entertained.
you?
Yeah, it doesn't land
Yeah.
for me anymore.
Stop.
I didn't mean to do that.
Like 99% of the time, not entertained anymore. So
Yeah, I guess they don't land like they did whenever you were a kid because they don't have those. You don't need those moral
unless they were like top
lessons
tier
anymore.
I guess it's like unless it was like top tier, like nostalgic for me. Like there's some Disney movies that were like very important to me as a kid that I still like.
See, yeah, a lot of kids loved the Mighty Ducks growing up, and I liked it. I was like, yeah, that's good, but it's not like
I
Ninja
really
Turtles
loved
good,
playing
you know what I
hockey,
mean?
so like, I loved watching Mighty Ducks because of that. But I'd rather play than watch, so it was okay.
I liked it because of Emilio Estevez.
Mm.
Because as a kid, I remember him from like Young Guns and all that shit. And I'm like, Emilio Estevez, man. And then like some of the
Coach
kids in the
Bombay.
movie, I'm like, okay, I remember him from this and and all that stuff. So like
Yeah.
Kenan was one of them.
The Basham Brothers.
Yep, Bash
Yeah.
Brothers.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah,
Knuckle
there's-
Puck. That's what Keenan's known
Yeah, he
for
did
in
the
that.
Knuckle Puck, and then the Bash Brothers was that one guy that was in Daredevil. I can't remember his name now.
Oh yeah, he
And-
played
yeah, he
Frog
played-
or Foggy or whatever.
Yeah, he played in Daredevil recently, and then
He was in
the other guy's like a
She's All
no-name
That,
guy.
all that shit
Yeah,
as the best friend.
yeah.
Oh, and he was also in Idle Hands.
Yes, yes. I should have went with that one first.
Yeah,
Why did I think?
yeah.
Why did I think of Daredevil?
Did you have one?
I already said it.
What was it?
Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on, man. Let's go ahead and
43
get
minutes.
into what everybody's been watching.
What the hell have you been watching?
Let's start with Madison.
Once upon a time. And a little bit of Gravity Falls. That's it, though.
Okay. Eric, what'd you watch, man?
So I watched the second season, or the second season of the Rings of Power.
I know, I've been meaning to start that show.
So I'm waiting for the next episode to come
I
out.
haven't started
I
it.
watched the last
Is
5.
it good?
Yeah, I like it.
It's getting a lot of like flack
Yeah.
from people. Like, I guess one of the people on the show is that they were gender swapped for a female. Something to do with that. I'm like, who gives a flying fuck? Like, you know what I mean?
The show's good.
Yeah.
I enjoy the show. So I watched
Does
some
that
of
have
that.
any of the original cast in it?
No.
I don't
Doesn't
It's-
it
it's-
takes place like so many hundred
Yeah, well,
years.
it takes place in the Sauron age, like
Mhm.
when he's starting to make the rings.
But
So
I thought that one
they're going to
Elrond,
look.
Lord Elrond, he was still alive then.
Yeah, but he's a lot younger looking, so they had to go with a new
But
cast.
in the flashbacks, he looked the same.
Well, it's because they had a
It's because they had Hugo Weaving.
yeah,
They're not going to waste Hugo Weaving.
and now he's a lot older too, so it's not going to look
authentic.
Yeah, so they had to get somebody else.
Which makes sense. They do that a lot with shit like that.
Yeah. But the cast that they got so far, they seem like they're doing a pretty good job.
I thought about checking it out.
I like the show. I watched the first season, and I think the first season only has 8 episodes. And
The thing about it is, like, you know how it all ends.
yeah, and then the second one has 5 so far. So I've enjoyed it.
It's one of the things I hate about prequels. You know,
You know.
There's
know
no
what's going
mystery
to
about
happen.
it.
You're like, you know what happens.
like anytime they try to be like, there's some main character or something like, are they gonna die? No,
Yeah,
they're
that's
not.
like
You
watching
know?
House of the Dragon. Like it's a prequel to Game of Thrones, but you're like, but it takes place something like 100 years or something like 200 years or something like that before Game of Thrones. So like, we all know where this all ends and what happens and how this is all resolved.
like it talks about the Dwarven Kingdom, the one that fell to that fire demon or whatever,
Maury?
huh?
No.
Khaldun or something like that.
Yeah.
That
That's what you
Dwarven
said.
Kingdom,
Yeah.
they go into detail. Like,
Mordor.
No.
Khaldun or something like
Mordor
that.
is where they have
That's
to burn
the Dwarven
ring at, 'cause
Kingdom or
that's
whatever.
where the ring was forged.
But
Right.
they go in and like show like that kingdom and stuff, and they go into detail on all that. It's
Right.
pretty neat.
Karen.
Like Lord of the Rings.
Whoa.
No, nothing.
I enjoy it. I mean, I like the Lord of the Rings stuff. It's just, do I enjoy Star Wars more? Yes, but
No.
I do like Lord of the Rings.
I would
can't
agree with that.
stand
Star Wars
Star
is better,
Wars.
in my opinion,
Yeah.
than Lord of the Rings.
You probably know more about it.
I don't like Star Wars. I can't even sit through like any of them. I can't sit through the movies.
I can see
They
why
make me fall
people
asleep.
aren't as invested in Star Wars. It's hard to follow because there's a lot of unknown.
Yeah,
Whereas medieval type shit and fantasy stuff like that, like Lord of the Rings, it's a little bit easier to follow. It's a little more simplified.
Dude, I've met more Star Wars nerds than I have.
That's
Lord
because
of the
Star
Rings.
Wars has just been around longer, like more
Yeah.
publicly. Like, yeah,
I
Lord of the
meant
Rings
my
is actually
age.
older because of the books,
books.
but the Star Wars was huge in the 70s. Then it came back in the
80s.
the late
70s and
90s,
80s.
early
My age.
2000s. Then it came back again. You know what I mean? So it's not going.
It's
anywhere.
just real
My
big.
age, though. I've met more Star Wars fans my age than anything.
I don't know. Then I don't know.
Because it's Star Wars.
It's Star Wars. Yeah.
It's fucking Star Wars.
I wish that we had more Star
Well,
Trek.
you got to
nerds.
think there's Disney, which is keeping that alive.
Oh, 100%.
Well,
yeah.
we
Like,
are
the
not even getting into
Mandalorian
the
or,
Trekkies.
It's like I said,
they're
they've made
still
Star
very-
Wars for every generation.
Star Wars is a living document, essentially. It's constantly being updated and added to, and there's
Yep.
books and there's
and
TV
they've continued
shows
on with the
and-
story, which really helps instead of doing prequel shit. They've done a little bit of that, but they've moved on with the story too. Unlike Lord of the Rings, where you're like, well, what happens?
Well, they haven't
After-
done anything with it either.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't made anything new other than that
Maybe they
show.
will.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then, like, me and my buddy Logan, you remember Logan? He's a big time Star Trek fan, and I'm a big time Star Wars fan. So
and that's
we'd
another
always have a
thing too,
discussion.
that Star Trek has continued its lore
Yeah,
and continued with its
Well,
stories.
how's
See, I think if I
Supposed to
really got
continue
into
their stuff
into
if they
Star
part
Trek,
the
I could get
ring.
into Star Trek.
That's
honestly.
a
Yeah.
deep rabbit hole,
it's
man.
a deep one.
That's a deep rabbit hole because you're talking about like a couple hundred years of generations of Star Trek captains to follow,
Mm-hmm.
and it's insane. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good luck with that.
yeah, right.
I'm not going to. I'm
Next
just
gen
saying
is
if
the
I was
best, dude. Next
if
gen
I
all
had
day.
to pick one, it would probably be Star Trek.
Like the original series. Oh, you mean
No,
like
Next
just
Gen.
a-
If I had to pick one, I watched all of Next Gen anyway.
I love next gen.
So I watched that. I watched the first episode of MXC again, and that one was cracking. It was cracking me up because it's very political one. It's the one where it's like
Oh.
against Democrats
Against
and
the Republicans?
Republicans, and it just had me dying like the whole time. It's
It's
just
just
with
so
everything that's
funny.
going on. And what else did I watch?
I miss MXC, but they will never put that kind of shit on.
No,
Yeah.
they offend too many people.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, but it's still so fucking. If you watch it, it's fucking.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
It's on Prime. I think it's on Prime.
Is it?
Yeah,
I have it,
I think it's
I
on
own
Prime.
it. Sort of.
No, I'm just saying, like they have
Digitally.
They have
Digitally.
MXC on Prime right now.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's That's I watched that Despicable Me 4 with the kids,
We watched that too.
the younger two.
I couldn't get into it.
I fell asleep like halfway in.
We watched it and I was like, Another one?
I fell asleep.
another one?
I've seen it
Honestly,
before with
after the
kids.
third
We
one,
went to
they
the
could've
movie
stopped.
theaters and seen it.
That's the same as the Kung Fu Panda movies. Like, when are you going to stop making these fucking movies? Like,
When they stop making money on it.
yeah,
I never
I like
seen
the
any of
first
them.
one.
I couldn't stand though.
My kids were never really like Gage got into Despicable Me for a little while, and then Jack got into him for a hot minute. But that was about it. They didn't really get into anything other than that. Like Jack would like the first Trolls movie, but that was it. They were never really into like kids.
I just hate
movies
these
per
fucking
se.
movies, these like series of movies that they're coming out with because they got to like keep making them till like they're dead. Like, just why can't Disney take anything out on a high note? Like, all right, this is a great and fantastic
Cow,
fucking
baby.
movie, but like, let's kill it there so we can, leave on
Well,
a high
they
note.
need it right now. They're suffering on all their new shit. Anything
because they
that's,
can't
that's
do anything original.
well, anything original that they do bombs for obvious reasons.
Like they did
so-
the Moana movie, and now they're already talking about doing a live action. Like, why?
Because it's
they're
the
making
most-
a number 2 right now.
Yeah, they're making a number 2, and
It's
they're
the
going to
most
do a live
original
action.
thing that they've done that's done anything. So
They need to come out with a Predator movie that's that goes back in the samurai age.
I agree. I keep seeing TikToks and memes, and it's like, yes, do this. Why haven't we done this yet?
And they need to hire what's his name, the dude that does the
Hiroki Sanada.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
one that does Shogun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've already heard great premises on what to do with it.
Yeah,
Like he was I don't remember. It was a whole plot where he was essentially a disgraced samurai who
Hironin.
was sent out to train a younger samurai as punishment instead of like doing a harakiri, whatever. And in the wilderness, like the snowy wilderness, he runs it. They come upon the predator and a younger predator who he is also training. And I'm like, this is I love this. This is amazing. Like, why don't we have this already? And by the end, they disguise themselves, like their heat signature with snow, because of course. I'm like,
it's in the winter.
like, do this. Why aren't we doing this? Like,
the snow would melt pretty quick.
Yeah,
probably, yeah. But
It'd be the mud thing all over again, only worse.
true. But I'm just saying, like,
I mean, I'm not saying that there isn't ways. I'm
in
just
order to
saying
do that, they would have to get their core temperature like
really low.
hypothermia,
like they'd have to. I mean, I'm saying like they'd have to
hypothermic.
build a structure or something. Like they can't just cover themselves in snow. It
Yeah,
wouldn't
like a
work.
ghillie suit or something.
Yeah, but it would have to be like a ghillie suit that had like a temperature
Something
fluctuation or
insulation.
something. Yeah, like some kind of insulation or whatever.
Ghillie
Like
itself could be insulated of some kind, like because of the weeds and things.
they'd have to
I
build.
think we're thinking too
I'm
much
just
about
saying-
this. Let's not get into it.
I'm just saying it would be the mud all
Anyway,
over.
I think
again.
that you're right. They need just to do.
New movies, new ideas.
And by the end, the child survives. Hiroki Sanada's dead. The predators are dead. Child survives, is trained, greatest samurai ever lived.
And the kid is the last one. The kid that makes the last kill.
Yeah. He takes he does the final blow.
See, we got
Yeah.
ideas.
Call us.
I feel like we've said that before too. Like, we got ideas.
Maybe we'll get some calls someday.
I
You
doubt
never
it.
know.
I doubt it.
We're
Because
on
they'll just
deathbed.
they'll just steal our idea and then say that it was their idea.
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's Hollywood for you. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Copyrighted.
Karen, what'd you watch?
Bonsai Movie Crew.
We watched the Omen 3.
True.
Is that true?
Then I got on an Amityville kick because I decided I'm gonna watch all of them.
Oh fuck!
Uh
Another rabbit hole.
huh. The Amityville Curse,
Even the one with
Amityville New Generation.
shit. Was it
Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds?
Reynolds? Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
No, I already seen that one.
That's the
So that,
remake.
yeah.
Still,
The
it's
Amityville
an
Haunting, Humanoids of the Deep. So that's not an Amityville movie because at that point I'd moved on. The Skeleton Key, Jeremiah had never seen it, so we watched that. And the new fucking Crow movie because Jeremiah would not fucking stop. So we watched it.
Was
What
it
is-
bad?
It's terrible. It's just as bad as I imagined it would be.
It's as bad as everybody's saying it's going to be.
Yeah, don't watch it. I mean, it's just as bad as you imagine it's gonna be.
What's it called?
It's the new Crow movie. It's
Why
the only thing
no.
that's good is Bill. And that's obvious. Like, you know he's going to be good. But it's not because it's a good movie. It's not because there's good writing. It's not because
he's a good actor.
It's just because he's a good actor. And I can tell you, my biggest problem with it is the love story. And you know what? Fuck it. I don't care.
My question is, why would Bill even consider that role?
Yeah, he owed somebody money or something. I don't know. He owed somebody.
He probably owned that production company, like another movie on a contract.
He must have or something, because fuck. But okay, in the first movie, this is where I think like you can tell the difference and how good they used to be at making movies versus now. So in the first one,
Gritty.
You see this love story playing out, right? But you see it like almost you don't see really their love story playing out until like after he died, pretty much, right? And you see it playing out through his eyes in flashbacks and through like the little girl talking about Shelley. And so you don't really see their story. You just see flashbacks. You see their death through him, through flashbacks and all of that. But you care about those two because of that. You really liked both of them because you see it through his eyes. So you almost feel his pain because you're seeing Shelley and him through his eyes. You're seeing their story through him. Okay? We spent an hour with these two at the very beginning of this movie. I didn't care about them. I didn't know them. I didn't give a shit when they died.
Fuck
and then later on, after he comes back, you start to see some of these like flashbacks to their story. And I'm like, that's what you should have fucking done. You should have fucking stuck with that formula.
I heard that there was like no chemistry between the two of them either.
No, really, there wasn't. And that's what I'm saying. If you'd have done the flashback thing, you would have never seen that. I'm just saying there's a difference in the storytelling that you can see like back in the day where they were so good at conveying.
It also kind of looks like the tone of the movie is way different than the tone of the original. Like the original had this very dark, rainy, gritty.
No, they did do I'm not going to say they did a perfect job or a great job, but they did do a pretty good job at the set designs and keeping that very
gothic tone.
Well, I wouldn't say gothic necessarily, but dark, rainy, sad, somber. I will say that. There were a couple of scenes I really liked. They were very they were very visually interesting to watch. But no, I think that the difference is the storytelling. How they tried to tell the story was dog shit. So.
All right. Well, that doesn't sound like a very good recommend.
No, if I had to rate it, I'd give it a 2.
She says, "Fuck that movie."
That's an Eric rating.
That was a quick 2 too.
I'm sorry, when you have a movie like that that's so beautifully told the first time, you better bring it.
I agree.
And it wasn't Broughton.
It was not Broughton.
It was more rotten than Broughton. That's what I did there.
Yeah.
Is that all you watched?
It was rotten. Yeah, that was it. That's all I had.
I watched Dragon Ball. We watched an episode of Resident Alien today.
And McDonald's?
Yeah. I'm loving it. I think that's all the shows that I watched. Oh, I've been watching Terminator Zero. A couple episodes into that. I still haven't really gotten very far with it. And then we watched Abigail because Jackson wanted to watch a horror movie for Halloween. And I'm thinking, like, what movie do I have or can I think of that he'll get into that doesn't have nudity or anything like that in it? So, because originally he wanted to watch Freddy versus Jason. And I'm like, there's a fuckload of nudity in that movie. Because I was thinking,
what do you mean? That's totally appropriate.
I was like, hold on a minute. I was like, I don't know if there's nudity. I was like, I don't know if there's nudity in that or not. I couldn't remember because it's been so long, and I had to Google it.
Yeah, there's right
at the beginning. Right at the beginning, this girl's like, it's the girl out on the
boat.
She's just flashing her tits, and so I'm like, yeah. So I was like, Crystal, I was like, there's a lot of nudity in this movie. I really don't feel like covering his eyes up every 5 minutes.
It's a Jason movie.
Yeah. So she's like, all right, and then he was like, well, can we watch Nightmare on Elm Street then, the original? I'm like, she's like, isn't there a lot of nudity? I was like, moderately.
Side boob.
There's a little bit of side boob. I was like, but not really. I was like, but I just don't think he's going to get into it.
The storytelling's pretty.
It's pretty slow.
You have to be into the story.
Yeah,
so
like and he's not going to.
No
he wants to
action.
see like action and guts.
Yeah,
and
there's
gore.
not action.
So I was like, how about this? I'll give you an
There's
option.
actiony scenes.
I gave him an option
Pumpkinhead.
between The Thing.
Ooh,
What is it?
Pumpkinhead.
That'll scare the fuck. I want him
Yeah.
to sleep.
Yeah, that's true.
I gave him an
one
option
fuck.
between The Thing and
Hatchet.
I gave him an option between The Thing and Abigail, and he wanted to watch Abigail because it looked newer. Of course, I was like, The Thing is one of the greatest fucking movies ever made, dude.
Oh,
Like-
would you really call that horror though?
The Thing, most certainly horror.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought you meant. Never mind. I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh.
I thought you were talking about another movie.
Thing had a
Entirely
remake too,
different
didn't
movie.
it?
Huh?
Thing had a remake too, didn't it?
Mhm.
It was more of a prequel.
Yeah,
It was set up and advertised like a remake,
yeah.
which honestly was fucking genius.
Yeah.
Because whenever I watched it, I was like, it's just a remake, and then I'm like watching, I'm like,
This
a
is
very good
before.
remake, you know, and it gets to
Yeah.
the end and you're like, oh shit, this ain't a remake, this is a fucking prequel.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So it's nice going in, not knowing what you were going to get
Yeah.
at the end, which is pretty great.
And it's
So-
crazy because it kind of bombed, but that was genius.
It wasn't a bad movie. It's
It
just, I
wasn't.
think it was the CG that turned everybody off.
Probably.
Because it was all like CG monster and all that shit. And it's like, The great thing about the original John Carpenter The Thing is
It was.
all the practical effects were amazing. And
That's
that's
the artfulness that goes
yeah,
into
it's
that.
fucking beautiful, and I love it. I know it's gory and crazy, but it's fucking amazing.
I know that there's art that goes into CG. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to downplay anybody's work, but there is an art form that goes into
it's
creating
not even
those
so much.
effects.
It's not even just the art form, but it's also the labor that goes into
That's
it.
what I'm saying. There is an art form that
There's
goes into
so
that.
much work that
there's
goes
this
into
entire-
creating these things.
There's this entire process there that isn't there anymore. That you
can
can tell
literally-
people enjoyed.
You
that.
can literally
tell that
do
there's-
all of the CG work for a movie in one fucking room.
Yeah.
Whereas whenever you do practical work, there's fucking draft boards. There's fucking some people do CG render some shit, and then that's how they do what they're gonna do with the practical stuff. And then there's a lot of molding and a lot of art that goes into it, painting, coloring, molds, and there's so much work that goes into it, and it's just so much more.
Finding the right
Not
textures.
to mention, it just looks more real. Like it looks real. I know sometimes practical effects can look a little janky, but take for instance,
That's why you have to
Little
be able to
Shop
do
of
it right.
Horrors,
I would argue that you can take some janky practical effects and put them up janky CGI, put them up against each other any day, and I will take the janky practical
100%
any day.
agreed. Yes, and that's like I said though. Like if you watch, we just watched Little Shop of Horrors, the
By the
way
way, I
how
have yours
fluent
still.
and how fluent and how
that.
good Audrey 2 looks.
Your Blu-ray copy.
still have
I
mine?
still have yours.
The way that Audrey 2 looks is fucking fantastic. You wouldn't if you were there, if you were in that situation, you'd 100% believe that that's
Even
a
in
real
the
talking plant.
Even in the original.
Yeah, the original didn't look bad. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, even in the original for that time with the practical effects, it's amazing.
Yeah. So but he didn't want to watch it because they both, even Crystal's like 1982 or whatever. I'm like, yeah. She's like, ugh. I was like, just because it's old doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The movie is
It's
amazing.
only 2 years older than me. Crystal.
Anyway, that's all we watched. We watched Abigail. He really liked it. He loved all the gore and stuff. And
Yeah.
watching it a second time, I was like, we watched it once. This would be my second time watching it. I was like, yeah, still a
It's still
good
just as
fucking
amazing.
movie.
Yeah.
Still good.
Good fucking movie. It's funny. It's comedic. It's got a little bit of action. It's got plenty of gore. It's got its scares. And all the actors in it are fucking great.
Oh yeah.
They all do a great job. So,
I agree.
especially that girl.
Lisa.
That little girl, she's awesome.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Easily the best part of the
Yeah,
movie.
she was awesome in that
Well, that
movie.
and the one girl that just goes through the ringer. What's her name?
The girl who plays...
She's in a lot of
The girl
stuff
who plays
nowadays.
Lisa Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I felt so bad for her. Everything she went through, and then she fucking dies anyway. It's like, oh.
Yeah, but she was kind of a bitch, though.
She
so-
was, but it's kind of like, oh my god, she's just.
She did. They put her through the ringer.
Oh
for
my
real.
gosh.
Russian dude had me cracking up.
Oh, that
Yeah,
guy.
he was awesome.
He is
Yeah.
amazing. Well, everything. He's almost always the best
Everybody in
part.
the movie's great.
Yeah,
Everybody, even
yeah.
they're all awesome. So I
Mhm.
just can't. What's her face? The main girl. She was in Scream.
Mm.
I can't remember her name now.
Yeah, look at her.
But I don't give a fuck what she said about whatever country. She's an awesome actress. She did great.
Once again, I don't care about your personal views.
I don't care. Yeah.
Dance, monkey dance.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, man, let's get into our movie this week and talk about Heavyweights from 1995.
Let's talk about the movie.
All right, Camp Hope is a summer retreat for overweight boys run by a kindly couple who make the campers feel comfortable with their extra pounds. But when tyrannical fitness guru Tony buys the camp, he puts the kids on a cruel regimen that goes too far. Sick of the endless weeks of all work and no play, the kids stage a coup and reclaim their summer of fun. 1 hour and 40 minutes, rated PG. Tom McGowan plays Pat. Aaron Schwartz as Jerry. Sean Weiss as Josh. Tom Hodges as Lars. I mean, like, I could keep going. Kenan Thompson as Roy.
Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on and so forth.
Am I reading it?
Put that cookie down!
I got it. I know how to read.
He went to the school.
I went to school. I are smart.
The Zoolander school for kids who wanted to learn to read good.
Somewhat, anyways.
Hold on, I'm going to edit some of this shit because...
It
All right.
happens once in everybody's life.
What, dying?
Yes.
Yeah, eventually. All right, Heavyweights. As school ends for the summer, Jerry Garner, played by Aaron Schwartz, is sent by his parents to Camp Hope, a weight loss camp for boys. Despite worrying at first, Jerry makes friends easily at the Chipmunk Cabin, and it's pretty much becomes president of that bitch.
He's
And
captain.
Huh?
He's captain.
Yeah. Which the boys have named him, or have named him named a long time ago. Okay, whatever. And learns that Camp Hope is actually a lot of fun and won't be nearly as bad as he thinks. Jerry also discovers that the other campers have smuggled in enough junk food to easily stave off the hunger pangs. Pangs?
Pangs.
Okay. And probably counteract any weight loss that camp programs have or cause. Dude, that part where that kid like pulls up his shirt and he's got the
That
chocolate
kid's,
and he's
like,
like
licking it?
like this probably isn't very sanitary. And I'm like, no. Oh, there goes Frank.
Frank thought the same thing. Yeah,
It was
dude.
so gross to him, he just...
No,
He
I'm
killed
done.
over.
I'm out.
Yeah,
that shit was gross.
I started going,
Yeah, that's gross, man. That's just there's a certain level of
don't fucking do that.
yeah.
I don't care how much, like, candy. Nobody's that desperate for candy.
Do you think that they're like glorifying overweight kids, or like, I get that they're trying to say be who you are and things like that, like trying to set like, but like they're saying that like being overweight and obese is okay. You know what I mean?
That's a fine line you gotta walk.
It is a fine line, but
I don't think that they're saying like obesity is okay. I think they're saying like,
accept you
don't
for
have to
you.
be
Yeah.
ashamed of it.
I get that, but like, all right, so like the scene later on in the movie where they're like dancing around the fire like a bunch of maniacs, just gorging themselves on.
And then
on
the next
food.
morning he wakes him up like, we all need to take
No, what did we learn?
responsibility for our
Don't
own.
put Twinkies on your pizza.
No, we all need to take responsibility for our own weight.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
I'm just wondering if this movie was made nowadays, how many people would be offended by it?
Well, just looking back at a lot of the movies back in the day, how many people would be offended by them?
Yeah, right.
I mean,
It's
Blazing
just
Saddles.
a thought that I had watching this movie. I'm like, man, like they are really, really making it seem like it's okay to be like unhealthily overweight. Because some of them boys are like really big.
Oh, big.
So
I don't know. I like that they, kept talking about how every kid was going to go and they were going to be accepted because, you know,
And
okay,
this
you're
is-
at school, you're the fat kid, but here we're all the fat kid, you know, and like so you're gonna be accepted, and we're all, you know, it's great here, blah blah blah. But then it was like he gets there, and like they just laid it on a little thick. I feel like it was like we're all friends and we all love each other, and you know, and it's like
They really do lay it on like,
Yeah.
like it's
on a very
really
cheesy,
thick,
like a really cheesy level
yeah,
of
it's like really thick.
oh, we're all fat together. It's okay.
If I would have went to a camp like that, I'd have felt like it was a cult.
yes,
Yeah.
cultish, exactly. It was really
I
thick.
can see that. Yeah.
Yes,
That'd be cool.
very cultish.
I'd have been like, I'm not drinking your guys' juice.
yeah.
What's
Not,
in the
not
juice,
doing it.
boys? What's in the juice?
Not doing
What's
it.
in that fruit punch?
Like you're telling me not one of them is sarcastic or you know what I mean, and they're not even sarcastic towards each other. You know, there's no joking around in a way that's like poking fun at each other at all. It's all
I mean, it kind
it's all
of
positivity and
was.
just
So Josh kind of did that when he first walked in, like the whole captain thing, and then it turned into a
But it-
brotherly thing.
that's what I'm saying.
right
It
away.
turns into this just positive. Like at first I thought, oh, he's the bully, sort of, or you know, like he's gonna.
But
be
then
the-
he's not.
But
at
then
all.
he's not at all. It's
He's
like
just the much older cool guy.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
He's
Which
like,
I thought he was a really cool character, though.
yeah, he's a good character for sure.
He
It's,
is,
it's
but-
but in movies like this, it doesn't bother me that you don't have a lot of that because I'm like, it's a movie that just like, all right, just has fun and there is no like bullying or.
It's a
like,
Dis-
Oh no,
it's a
I'm not saying I
Disney
wanted
movie.
that.
Okay.
It's just I felt like it was just laid on
Maybe
thick.
they thought there was enough bullying coming from, what's the guy's name again?
No, I get that there wasn't
Oh,
supposed to
Tony.
be any kind of like friction
Yeah.
or whatever. It was just the boys were just the positivity and the
Maybe there was just a
It
whole
was
lot
thick.
of thing back in the 90s of like fat kids being bullied, so Disney wanted to do something positive with it, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
they just went too far.
Yeah, like
in
over
that direction. It was just
You think that maybe they should have been aiming their like attention to more of the like greasy head like outsider type kids instead of the fat kids?
no. I'm saying
Well, I mean, if you got to think about like Columbine and all of the, all the bullying that went on there with that kid and schools being shot up for that reason, like maybe they're putting their attention on the wrong group of kids. Because let's face it, I mean, fat kids ain't shooting up in no school. That takes a lot of energy.
I mean that was a stretch from what I was talking about, but
I'm just saying. I
Sure.
mean, well, Disney back
I wasn't
then,
talking about the fact that they were
Well, you gotta
fat. It
think,
was
well, back
more
then Disney was all about like they're putting positive morals out there for kids and positivity and like that's what I miss about and there were quality fucking movies. They
Yeah.
weren't low budget bullshit they'd slap on their stupid Disney Channel. They were actually good. Like that Descendants movie you guys like. That movie is garbage. Those movies are bullshit and they're garbage because they look cheap as fuck. They are cheap
What's
fucking
That's
Descendants?
movies.
because it's a Disney Channel movie.
Exactly. That's the problem. They don't have
Oh
actual
yeah, they use
good
that
Disney
soap
movies
opera
anymore.
filter
What's
for that
the-
shit. It
yeah.
looks cheap.
What the
It
hell's
looks
the
plastic.
Descendants?
It's about all the Disney villains' kids.
Yeah, the Disney villains all have kids and they go to a school for
Good.
good kids and blah 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 or something like that. It's fucking retarded.
Good movie.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
She didn't grow up in our era of good Disney movies. So
It was a good movie.
like the mighty well look at it like this. Like you got the Mighty Ducks, you got Heavyweights, you got fucking I mean what
Hey,
else came
bro,
out in that
Hocus Pocus.
I watched
Hocus
those
Pocus.
movies when I was a kid too.
but I'm saying like but those movies came out when we were kids.
And Descendants came
we
out
took
when
them to you.
I was a kid.
That's what I'm saying.
My
It's your
bad.
generation
My
of
bad.
fucking
I forgot
movies.
I called them as soon as I was born. Like, hey, by the time I am 6 years old, make sure this movie is out.
She acts like I'm directly attacking her.
You're attacking her childhood.
are.
We get a little defensive about ours too.
Because ours was good.
Mine was good too.
Ours
I
was
had
good.
Hey Jesse.
Huh?
I had Jesse.
The fuck is Jesse?
I know who
Disney
Jesse is,
Channel
and
show.
Jesse is pretty good, actually.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
What?
Whatever.
I'm lost.
All I know is our generation of kids had Disney movies, like the original cartoons, and then their generation of kids has those cartoons remade into live action movies that suck balls. That's all I'm saying. So, whose generation was better?
Mom.
Where's Johnny Bravo?
That's Cartoon Network. That's
Still.
Mine.
Hit it, pretty mama.
Anyway,
Dexter's
Mine.
Laboratory.
you can
Get
say
out
yours
of
all
my
you want, but
laboratory.
Mine.
Ooh, what's this button do?
all right.
I had Gravity Falls. He didn't.
We had Courage the Cowardly Dog.
And Invader
So did
Zim,
We had Invader Zim.
Bring me this.
Rocco's Modern Life,
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Rugrats.
Uh-huh.
Doug?
Rocco was
Yeah.
a fucking sex operator. He was
I know.
He was.
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy.
angry.
Oh, yeah.
iCarly.
Angry Beavers.
Sam and Cat.
You can't even.
Real Monsters.
Are you seriously comparing Sam and Cat and iCarly to fucking All Real Monsters, Johnny Bravo,
Yeah.
Angry Beavers.
Cat
Yeah.
Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah.
Dog?
Cat dog.
No.
You got nothing on Courage, man.
Courage the
Rugrats.
Cowardly Dog.
Yes.
I watched that too.
Kapow.
It was still
Just
running.
because you watched it
If
doesn't
it was
mean
still running on TV, then it
You
was
remember
part of
that
my
show, Kapow?
childhood too.
they weren't putting
Oh,
out new episodes. They were
Kapow.
just rerunning.
No,
Kapow.
I'm pretty sure
Kapow.
they're still putting
Kapow.
out new episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog, Dad.
What
Bob
was
and
that?
Prometheus.
Whatever.
The Prometheus and Bob tapes.
Prometheus
From
and Bob
Kapow.
tapes.
He goes,
Oh yeah.
whatever.
Oh, what was
Alright.
it? Action League Now.
Yeah, Action League.
with
oh
the naked
yeah, the
man.
stop motion one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I'm talking
With
about.
Bob
That's
and
Kapow.
Prometheus.
Yeah.
Kapow had all those
Prometheus
shows.
and
They
Bob
had
Yeah, I
tapes.
remember
Action
now.
League Now with the Incredible Naked Man and
Yeah,
the Stinky Diver and
that shit was great. Pete and Pete.
Mm-mm.
No,
I don't like
you didn't like
Pete
Pete and Pete?
No, I
I
don't
like
like
Pete and
Pete.
Pete.
Fuck stay.
There were some good ones. Alec or
Oh,
Secret
they-
Life of Alex
Secret-
Jones.
Alex Mack.
Alex Mack, and then there was Clarissa Explains It All.
Yep.
Those were good quality fucking shows, man.
Damn right.
The Prometheus and Bob tapes were the best ones out of it all, though. Fucking had me rolling
Dude.
every time. I can still look those up and still be in tears watching them.
All right, let's
Him and
continue
that
here.
monkey.
This ain't a nostalgia
that
trip.
monkey.
I had
That
Kim
fucking monkey.
Possible, Dad, Good Luck, Charlie, Gravity Falls, Lilo and Stitch, Girl Meets World, Phineas and Ferb. Nothing
Oh,
could beat
okay.
Phineas
I'll
and
give you
Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb.
The best
Yeah.
thing to come out of your generation was Foster's Home for Imaginary
That's
Children.
so Raven. Casey Undercover
I like
was a good
Stitch.
show. That's where
Lilo and
Lilo and
Stitch.
Stitch
I like
pretty
Stitch.
good.
Well, everybody likes Lilo and Stitch.
Casey Undercover. That's where
Puck Pucky.
Zendaya came from.
All right. Anyway,
Wizards of Waverly
My friend
Place. It
is
started
gonna
in
be
the
punished.
90s, but it was still going in 2007.
sure.
I
All
didn't
right.
like Hannah Montana.
All right. So anyway,
Okay.
Sunny with a Chance.
shut the fuck up. Let me read this.
Bizarre Vark.
Put down your phone.
What? He gets a chance, but I don't.
I'm
You've
I'm
been
trying to.
going for a minute.
Liv and Maddie was a good one. The Owl House. That
You want to know what a really good
good.
one is?
Jesse. Best
Dad
friends
Kills Madison.
Whenever. Best friends whenever.
That'd make a good show. Dad
That's
Kills
me and
Madison.
You. Best
I'm
friends
gonna
whenever.
fucking murder you.
That's me and you. Best friends whenever. It was about these two best friends that could
Oh.
literally time
You're
travel.
gonna die.
I need like a fly swatter.
Stuck in the middle.
Like, whack.
The electric ones.
No,
Stuck in the middle was
you
a
need
good
a
one,
chocolate.
You don't even know
Flip-flop.
that. Bunked. Everybody liked Bunked.
All right, that's
5
enough. Let me
Inches the
fucking
Vampire.
continue.
That one was good too. Star versus the force of evil.
You know that camera's the only thing saving your life, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to go off sometime.
The Loud House. That was Nick though. That wasn't. But he was saying Nick stuff too.
If you don't put that phone down.
Austin and Alec.
Right away, right away. Let's get the hell up out of here.
Madison's not on the podcast anymore, people. Oh my god. All right, I'm going to continue reading, Madison. Put your phone down. Out of respect to your father, because I know where the fuck you sleep.
I can sleep on the streets. I'm not afraid.
Goddamn right you can. All right, but all is not well at Camp Hope.
Ho.
Okay. The first night of the summer brings the revelation that the original owners of Camp Hope, Harvey, played by Jerry Stiller, and Alice Bushkin, played by Anna Mira, have entered bankruptcy, and the camp has been bought by fitness entrepreneur Tony Perkis, played by Ben Stiller, who announces his plan to make the camp's new exercise regimen into the top weight loss infomercial in the country. Tony tries to make himself seem like someone the campers can relate to, saying that he was a fat kid when he was younger too, but his methods of motivating the campers border on psychopathic or psychotic. I'm sorry, same thing. Tony cleanses the cabins of the campers' food caches, cuts off their contact with the outside world, and installs an exercise outline of trendy fitness techniques that downplay fun to the point of humiliation. During this event, Josh, played by Sean Weiss, taunts Tony in the protection of Jerry. Josh ends up getting kicked out of the camp without any refund. Many campers question what Josh's fate was after this event. However, because Josh did not receive a refund, Josh's father, who is a lawyer, threatened to have Tony sued. As a result, Tony had no choice but to allow Josh to return to the camp, which is fucking great.
That
like whenever he
part
comes
was
back,
literally the funniest.
yeah, whenever he comes back and he's like
acting all like he got lobotomized.
lobotomized. Yeah. And there is some cussing in this movie, not like serious, but like happy to have my fat ass back, right? And just shit like that, you know.
Like the kind of
Josh
thing
was
as
bad.
12-year-olds
Josh is
would
good
have
now.
Yeah,
said.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it was nothing too serious. They weren't saying like, fuck that shit, or you know. One day when Tony goes out for a run, Jerry, Josh, and a few other campers sneak into Tony's office to search for food. They find that Tony was holding onto all the letters the campers sent to their parents that complained of their hardships, including the letter that Jerry wrote to his grandmother. As they leave the office, Jerry and his friends come across a fellow camper eating hamburger. Could you imagine? Like, I could only imagine that, like, he's sitting in his, like, little, like, cabin or whatever, going through all these kids' letters and just reading them.
Right.
Like a fucking douchebag, like a creepy-ass douchebag. You know, like, how weird. Just, because all their letters are all open and in this box. So weird.
Don't you think he would have, I don't know, taken note, though? Like, if he's reading them. I mean, obviously he was. But, obviously, if he's got brain one, like, listen to a little bit of what they're saying.
No, because he's so full of himself and so determined that his workout regimen and things like that, his nutrition regimens are just the perfect way to...
That's what him talking to himself.
Yeah,
was.
no, I get that. But what I'm saying is that if he's logical at all, he's going to have to understand
but
that
that's
eventually
just it. He's not logical
yeah,
at all.
That's eventually going to lead to what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a nut. Well, the sad part, though, is... so, for one, he could easily be arrested because that's tampering with mail, for one.
Mm-hmm.
On several
It's federal.
accounts. It's a federal offense.
Well, not to mention the kinds of things he's saying to those kids.
Yeah,
and, you know
the
what
mental
I mean?
and physical abuse that he's
Yeah.
putting those boys through
It's
is insane.
degrading.
That's child abuse.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if this was not a kid's movie or a comedy, this would literally be a horror movie or a thriller because it'd be like,
thriller.
what was the name of that movie with Brad Pitt and them? Shit, and it had Kevin Bacon in it. Whenever they were all in that school together and they were all sexually abused. And,
Sleepers.
yeah, Sleepers. It's pretty much borderline that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of borderline that.
Yeah.
This movie would be a horror movie if it wasn't a Disney movie.
A psychological
Like if you were
Yeah.
you were one of those kids' parents and you heard about this like real life, you'd be going up there with a shotgun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You
that
know?
dude wouldn't have gotten in that limo because I'd have fucked his day up.
Yeah.
Like him punching him in the gut, I wouldn't have stopped there. I'd have bashed his fucking head in.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are
Yeah.
my kids, dude.
Yep.
So yeah, he wouldn't be alive. He wouldn't have left that camp alive. So anyway, I told Madison that too. Whenever we watched the movie, I was like, you have to understand, this dude gave me like almost terrors whenever I was young because he was a fucking menace. He was mean and he was a terrible fucking person. And like, because I've seen this movie several times, and he always gave me kind of like almost nightmares because of the way that he treated them boys and the way his character was in the movie. I'm like, I would never, like, he used to scare the shit out of me. He was like one of the worst villains of my childhood because of that reason. Like, he was a terrible fucking dude. He was mean, demeaning, rude, and he's just a piece of shit to those boys. And I couldn't imagine like being treated that way. You know what I mean? Like I had a piece of shit dad, but he wasn't on that fucking level.
Well, and it's funny that you bring that up because everybody draws this parallel to him and White Goodman. And having never seen this before, but having seen Dodgeball several times. And I'm going back and I'm watching this. The only parallel I get is that they are both really into fitness.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't see any White Goodman in him because he was legit a dick.
Yeah, White Goodman was just like...
is just...
Yeah, he's a dick and a douche,
he's a dick, but he's not even at all threatening.
No, not at all.
Whereas he can do legit harm.
And this is a PG movie, whereas... Dodgeball's a PG-13 movie.
Like, Heavyweights,
or is it R, actually? I think Dodgeball's rated... Or is it PG-13? I think it's R.
PG. No, I think it's R.
Is it R? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure.
Either way. But yeah, either way, you would think he would have been more of a threat in a movie like that, where these are both... Well, I guess, I don't know. Because I think the whole
White
point...
Goodman could probably be a threat to a child, but not to an adult.
Right. I agree with that. I guess he did kind of cower in the eyes of an adult. I don't know. It's wild. But they do make that comparison that these two could be the same person. I'm thinking, like, watching it this time, like, no, I don't think they could be. Like, he's far worse of a person than White Goodman is. Like, White Goodman's a tool, yeah, but he's not, like, I don't know, he's not abusive towards people, or, you know what I mean? And he's not even that smart.
I don't know, it's hard to explain. They're just not, there's more evil in this guy, I guess. I don't know, it's just, whereas, like, White Goodman is just...
I still saw it.
I didn't.
You can see
White
it a little
Goodman
bit.
is just full of himself.
They
this
both
guy
are.
Is like
dangerous.
He is dangerous, exactly.
He's dangerously full of himself, whereas White Goodman he's full of himself, but you're everybody in the room's like, okay, White, sure.
Yeah, he's full of himself because he's like,
Where everybody in the room feels sorry for him, so they're just, okay, White, sure, okay, White, you know.
He's become delusional.
That he can also like the way that like the girl handled White Goodman in Dodgeball compared to how he was handled, like she would probably fear him.
Yeah, like if a woman did that to the dude in Heavyweights, I would fear for her life.
Exactly. Also, there was no sexual advances, which I know that this is a kid movie.
Sure.
But you think that her being the only female, like attractive female in the whole movie, if that was White Goodman, he would have been making sexual advances towards her.
Right.
So there's that too.
That was Laura's job.
That was Laura's job. And I pointed this out to Madison. I was like, you noticed
that was the guy, Lars was the guy from Critters too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I pointed out to Madison, I said, do you realize that she's got like hard nipples in every fucking scene?
I didn't notice.
I did.
I did.
I didn't notice.
Huh?
I said I did.
Yeah, I noticed she's like, her nipples were always hard. I'm like, why are her nipples always so hard? Are they pierced? Like, I just noticed.
Look it up.
You didn't notice at all?
I noticed.
Oh, he's like, but you didn't say that, so you're making me look like the creep over here. Like, hey, you're looking at her tits, Like, well, she's slightly attractive, so.
I didn't think she was.
She had a nice smile.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because it was her mouth that bothered me the most.
Was it?
I don't know, it was something with like her upper lip. Like it got stuck when she went to move it. I don't know. I know. It's weird. It's a weird hang up for me. Weird.
Keyword. All right, guys, don't get your lips stuck. Karen might call you out on that shit.
It's weird. I don't know.
Sorry, my mouth is dry.
Just get a raspy voice.
Yeah.
You think they should make a camp for people who get their lips stuck? So that people like Karen can't make fun of them?
Sure.
Oh, man, I lost my spot. All right, one day when Tony... Oh, yeah, I already did. Fuck, I'm just going to start over. All right. One day when Tony goes for a run, Jerry, Josh, and a few other campers sneak into Tony's office to search for food. They find that Tony was holding onto the letters of the campers that sent their parents that complained their hardships, including the letter Jerry wrote his grandmother. As they leave the office, Jerry and his friends come across a fellow camper eating a hamburger. The camper tells them of a secret food stash in the forest. The campers eventually gain more weight despite Tony's fitness regimen. After Tony measures some of the campers' weight loss, he notices that they actually gained more weight. As punishment, Tony forces them on a 20-mile hike reasoning that this will not only help the boys work off some of their extra weight, but will also restore discipline. A 20-mile hike is a long way for anybody.
Yeah.
20 miles is a long fucking hike. And then halfway through it, he decides to extend the hike. Like that, even Tony Perkins, as healthy as he is, would not survive a 20-mile hike.
I thought it was a 15-mile hike, and then they extended it.
No, he said 20-mile hike
20.
at first.
Yeah.
From the get.
Uh-huh.
I've done a 10-mile hike in a day.
And
20 mile is
and that's a
fucking
lot,
unbelievable.
man.
Yeah.
That'll take it the fuck out of you. So for a bunch of kids who are not physically fit to do something like that, it takes a lot on the body. It's a hard, especially without food or rations. Like so he said, we're not gonna eat any food or anything. Like you're talking about like starving. This is what I'm saying. Like this is almost like psychological thriller level fucking craziness. This should be an R-rated or PG-13 rated movie with, you know what I mean? And at the end, Tony Perkins actually takes a dive off a cliff because he flips the fuck out and tries to kill a kid. You know what I mean? Like, so it's fucking crazy. Like, there's no way. And the fact that like Jerry comes running back, like, hey guys, and no, dude, you wouldn't be running. You would be crawling back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I don't think they'd be going anywhere. I think they'd all be still up there. Just
well, then
like...
Josh is wearing a goddamn hoodie. I'm like, why is he wearing a hoodie? They're on a hike in the summer up a mountain. Like, and this dude's not even breaking a sweat.
Hell, I've seen like half the movie. Most of the kids are wearing long sleeves, and I'm like,
They must have filmed this in the fall or something.
Shit, they might have only went a mile.
Huh?
So they probably only went a mile.
Yeah. Just, all right, go out to the edge of the woods there. We're going to film right there.
yeah. No, stop! Don't go any further.
All right, on the hike, the campers trick Tony into falling into a deep pit, severely injuring him. The boys bring Tony back to camp and imprison him in a makeshift cell of chicken wire electrified with a bug zapper, which wouldn't work.
No.
But this is also
battery.
some like fucking like Lord of the Flies level type shit. You know what I mean? Like like they got him trapped and they take over the camp and shit. They're gonna turn into a fucking like they're gonna start eating other people or something. You know?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude. Like we could set this up. We could make this horror movie of heavyweights.
We could totally make the trailers. You know how they make the trailers into other genres for, you know, like they can make The Shining into a love story.
Yep.
We could make this into a horror movie.
Yeah.
Easy.
We could. Like Hollywood, call us, dude. Like, give us a ring.
Yeah, they should have put a car battery
we
to
could
it.
rearrange it.
Yeah,
We could.
we should really get with Mike Flanagan because he'd be down for doing this.
True.
This is up his alley. This is sort of like movie.
It really is.
Yeah, this is
let
some
me
shit.
just pull up his number right quick.
Fuck, we don't even have to make it a movie, Mike. We could make it like an 8-episode miniseries, just like you like to do with all your other shit.
Tony comes back to Camp Hope.
No, we're just gonna call it Heavyweights.
I'm just saying.
That's it.
We'll just get the rights to remake it,
heavyweights.
but we're going to remake it the dark
Heavyweights.
way.
Like I said, heavyweights. Tony comes back to Camp Hope.
I mean, that could be an episode of an episode, or a name of an episode.
But that would be like the horror part of it.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, just call it Heavyweights and then just
I
run with
don't
it.
think he's saying that's the title. I think he's saying that's what should happen.
No, that's what he's saying the title should be.
Yeah.
Tony comes back to Camp Hope.
That's gay.
Damn, bitch.
Fuck you too.
I said, bitch. All right.
I'm gonna lie to you.
No.
All right. In the celebration of Tony's downfall, there is a lot of binge eating. The boys and some camp counselors who are also happy about Tony's downfall order pizzas and submarine sandwiches. They order a lot more than that. Gorge themselves on chocolate and drench themselves in soda. So I noticed that, like, okay, so Lars, like, turning heel, that makes sense. Like, that makes sense for him. But, like, the other kid, he was like, yeah, I used to be a camper here. He, like,
Yes.
totally rats them out like a motherfucker.
I
And you
noticed
know
that
the funny
too.
part is he did that. He ratted them out, gave them all their candy away, and then he started charging them
He
for
had a
them to
fucking
get their
plan,
fucking
dude. He had a game
fucking
plan.
candy back.
He's getting paid, is what it is. But he straight
then
rats them out like, Tony, sir, if you don't mind, I was a chipmunk last year. And then he's like, shows up, look, you You fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, and then they let him back in. He's in the celebration after.
Yeah,
Tony.
like, why don't you guys... like?
You
Why
should have thrown him in there with
Yeah,
Tony.
shouldn't he been tied up out in the
Because
woods
he
with
started
Lars?
getting fucking candy again. Because they were paying him.
Yeah, but
He
they
was
were
the one
paying
putting
him.
the fucking candy in the stump.
What a fucking motherfucker. You know what I mean? I don't like
Yeah.
that fucking guy.
I don't like him either.
I say
Flip flopping
Yeah.
motherfucker.
I guarantee you, if Tony would have taken back over, like, oh, Tony, sir, I'll suck your wee wee.
Mm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, so stupid.
This might be a little, off the thing, but I think Lars is probably my favorite one.
I like Lars.
He had me cracking up.
As much as he's like a tool bag,
Yeah.
he does redeem himself.
Well,
and he's
it's
probably
not even
one of the funniest
It's
characters.
not even that, like, his character is likable. It's just the things that he says just has me cracking up. Like, you broke my camera. That shit had me cracking up.
He's
Buddy!
Buddy!
He is responsible for one out of the 2 times I laughed out loud watching this. The one time was when he said, "Don't pee in the water. Don't drink the water."
Don't
He
drink
peed
the
in
water?
it.
He peed in it. It's lake water. Why are you drinking it anyway? It's disgusting.
But it was just funny because it's like, how do you know he peed in it?
Yeah.
Don't pee in the water. How do you know he
Don't
peed
pee in the
it?
water. Don't drink the water. He peed in it.
It's like, how do you know?
His eyes went cross.
Like, how do you know?
So stupid. The next morning, Pat Finley, a counselor who had come to Camp Hope every summer since he was 10, tells the kids to finally start taking responsibility and start actually losing weight. The boys begin following a more healthy regimen and start to make Camp Hope a fun place again. They don't lose a fucking pound, though. Like, I know they work out and do these things and that, but...
That's what the parents said, too. They were like, you have not lost...
That's what he said. He's like walking up. He's like, he hasn't lost any weight. He looks the same.
Well, that's good because he gained 9 pounds, so he must have lost 9
Yeah, I
pounds.
was say, hopefully he lost that 9 pounds he gained.
That's what the 20-mile hike did.
Yeah.
On Parents' Day, the parents are shown a video of Tony's cruelty. While they are watching, Tony escapes his prison and ends up exchanging quips with Jerry's father. In an attempt to make an impressive exit, Tony attempts a series of backflips, stumbles, and knocks himself out. The parents tell Tony his days of terrorizing their kids are over. Tony's own father shows up to take the keys and deed for the camp away from his son to ensure it doesn't happen again. He states that the camp will be closed and all of the money paid for admission refunded. So he even says, like, all right, the kid's never really been all there. He's never been right. But I just love that he's played by Jerry Stiller or Ben Stiller again.
Yeah.
And he plays it with such like he's a straight-laced dude. Like, it's funny because you see him this whole time as Tony, this fucking nutcase, and he's playing his own dad, and he's like this straight-laced, like, kind of a tool,
whatever,
but
hurry up.
yeah, whatever. Like, all right, who's been here the longest? Like, it's funny, but also I just think it's great that, like, he's just like, yeah, the kid's always been a little off, Like, well, then why'd you give him so much goddamn money? You know what I mean? Almost like he's like, yeah, buy the camp, get out of my face.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your little plaything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll supply all the lights for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird. Yeah, here you go. Cut your psycho kid loose on a bunch of kids.
Right.
You know what
Just
I mean?
get out of my face for a little while.
Yeah.
What did
Go
he do
play
with the
with
money?
the other children.
Ah, shit.
Like, wait, what's he doing to these kids?
Fuck,
shit.
here I go again.
But the campers don't want to leave Camp Hope. Despite what happened with Tony, the camp and the friends they have made there are still a lot of fun. Since there is no adult in charge of the camp now, Pat is voted to be the head counselor. Pat starts really putting the campers to work to win an annual competition against some rather athletic and perhaps somewhat competitive campers who are trained to go at the competition with everything they have, which up until Pat took over made the competition rather one-sided. Pat, however, has been training them not to lose hope and just to have fun, which they do. It turns out that they have just enough ability to win, to the distress of the counselors at the overly competitive camp, who have already decided that the trophy belongs to them.
Camp VIP.
VMP,
whatever.
Yeah.
MVP.
MVP. Most valuable player or whatever.
Yeah.
With this already being planned by the Chipmunks, Pat gives the trophy to one of the kids. The trophy is then thrown into the lake, much to the dismay of the overcompetitive campers, who believe that Pat is crazy for being more concerned with having fun instead of winning a trophy.
Wait. Are there other, like, houses like the Chipmunks?
Yeah, there's more campers than just the Chipmunks.
Where are they?
They just aren't very much front and center. Like, you don't really see any other campers.
Yeah, the Chipmunks bunk. Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's other campers. They just don't ever show them.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, which is weird because like you would think that they would show more campers to kind of give it more of a like real.
Well, I think you're supposed to get the idea from those long shots, like the celebration after
Yeah, you
see a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to get that impression. But yeah, it would have been nice to see like
more kids in the foreground and things like
yeah,
that.
and like other cabins and the background of their cabin or something. Yeah,
at least just walking around or doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The movie ends with everyone laughing and carrying on. Jerry then says to Pat, "Thanks for the best damn summer of my life," which Pat had mentioned to Jerry at the beginning of the movie. The kiss between him and like, I'm crazy about my gal, and then like kisses her, like how fucking cheesy.
Yeah,
come on,
crazy
about my gal.
Crazy, yeah, crazy about my gal.
So stupid.
Such a Disney line.
Such a dumb line.
Disney.
After the credits, Tony is shown being... Did you guys watch After the Credits? Oh. Tony is shown being an unsuccessful door salesman selling healing crystals. It's like someone shuts the door in his face. So, the end. That's the end of the movie.
Can I interest you in...
These healing crystals?
But I like to call them the healing crystals.
And then she just slams the door in his face. All right, man. You guys got anything you want to say about the movie, or you just want to move on? You got anything, Crystal? Karen?
The second one that made me laugh out loud was when he hugged Kenan and then patted him down.
Oh,
and pulled
yeah.
out his Pez dispenser, and it sounded like bullets.
Come on,
It did.
I'm not a monster.
All of them hitting the ground sounded like bullets hitting the ground. I'm like, my God.
It was funny.
Somebody's
to me.
packing.
Yeah, that's exactly why.
It's like, chink, chink,
he
chink,
said
chink.
somebody's packing, and it was bullets. It was funny to me. That's it.
I'm like, hold on, you're just driving on the ground. He's probably going to pick those up later and eat them.
I'm gonna say I would.
I mean, if there
Pez
is...
isn't even that good.
That's what I thought.
No,
Pez?
but if you're desperate,
I mean,
you're desperate.
The great thing about Pez is the dispenser, but
Yeah.
like Pez is
The
gross.
Pez candy itself is gross.
You keep the dispenser because they're collectibles, but that's it.
But are they, though, anymore? Like,
I'm sure they are.
maybe some of the older ones, but I don't
Yeah.
think the newer ones really are. I don't think kids
No.
care anymore. I know Jackson used to collect quite a bit of them, and he's
Don't
just
know
like,
where a single one is now.
no. All right, is that all you got?
Mhm.
All right, let's go ahead and get into rating and reviewing heavyweights.
Let's go this bitch.
All right, let's start with Madison. Man, what did you think of... This is your first time watching heavyweights? What did you think of heavyweights? Put your legs down so people can see your face.
You want them to see my face?
You have such a beautiful face.
You don't believe that.
You're my daughter, of course I believe that. What the fuck is
He's
wrong with you?
lying to you.
I'm not
He
lying.
does
Do I
not
look like I'm
believe
lying,
that.
Karen? Would I say something like that? If you were an ugly kid, I'd tell you were an ugly kid.
No, you wouldn't. Because I'm your kid.
Nah, Joseph would tell. He'd tell you.
No, he wouldn't.
I don't have ugly kids. My kids are
He
all
hasn't told Gavin he's ugly.
beautiful kids.
He hasn't told who.
Gavin is not an ugly kid.
I know.
That kid is going to be a fucking lady killer. 100%.
Okay.
Put your legs down and sit properly.
I
With good
am
posture.
super proper-
No, you're not. Your feet don't go on the chair. They go on the ground. on the ground.
Are you happy? Or are you gonna fuck me up?
Do you know the answer?
I know the answer.
Yeah. Anyway,
That button
Madison, what do you
gets
think of
used too
heavyweights? 1995.
1995.
I was running out of breath, so I had to get it out really fast.
See, I told you
Little
he
nasally.
takes that deep breath and then he tries to run it all out in one sentence.
It sounded like he was
Okay,
going
Jim
for
Carrey.
the opera.
There you go.
So that's some
Jim
Ace Ventura
Carrey.
shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, I really like this movie. It reminded me of all the Disney movies I used to watch when I was a kid on Disney Channel.
Now I know where she gets
I
it.
really like.
Disney Channel.
No, but I really like this movie. I think I've seen bits and pieces of it before, but I haven't seen all of it because I've definitely seen that candy scene before, and I think I've seen the hike scene before, but I didn't see any other of the movie. At least not that I remember. Maybe I watched it once where I was like really little.
Or they were probably a TikTok meme or like or video or something like that. Because I think I've seen the hiking scene in a TikTok before.
Probably.
So
I haven't. I would have remembered if it was a TikTok.
sure.
No, I probably wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But for the fact of the matter, watch it on Disney Channel, stuff like that all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a. I didn't even think about it actually. Hold on.
I don't think I did either, honestly. Oh, what do I give this movie?
I'll go ahead and give it a 6.5.
Okay.
It's a Disney movie.
Fair.
All Disney movies are kind of the same, same cheesy lines and stuff. So
I think for me, the movie has a lot of some redeeming qualities. Like I think the whole cast is pretty good. This is one of Ben Stiller's like first major movie roles, and I think he does great. Like I've said before, I like Ben Stiller when he's not being Ben Stiller, when he's being some outrageous tool bag or something like that. Like I like him in those roles. Hell, the few minutes that he's in like Happy Gilmore is awesome. So he like lands hard, but he's like diabolically mean in this fucking movie, which kind of gives you the idea that he can play other characters, man. He can play more than just that arrogant, like cocky, funny guy, like he did in Dodgeball and that. But he's great. All the kids in it are great. I think they're all awesome. I think they all do a great job. I saw where some people were slamming that kid who plays Jerry, his acting skills, which he's not the best actor. I'll give it that. But he still does do a good job of being that like new face to a group that already know each other. Aside from that, though, I mean, like I love Lars. I think he's a great part of the movie. But honestly, the thing that always stood out to me was Ben Stiller in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know where their morals were with this movie, like with their lesson. I guess their lesson is to just be you.
Be yourself.
And stop worrying about what other people think of you. But they're also kind of putting out a false standard that like, oh, even if you are obese and overweight, you can still beat all the athletic kids. That's not true.
Can't have it both ways.
You can't have it both ways, man. That's not true. That's like saying that, like, I don't know, if fucking...
You're not going to outrun them.
That's like saying, like, if you put, like, I don't know, some big, heavy guy in the ring with Mike Tyson, you got a chance to beat Mike Tyson. No, you don't. Mike Tyson's going to fuck you up because he is athletically better.
And in all honesty, it's pretty insulting to people who have trained their whole lives and something.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, you're playing these kids up like they're this evil guys. Yeah, they're probably douchebags, but they do train hard to be good at sports and things like that. That's why they demolish people. Now, granted, on the academic side of that, it might be a different story. Like that little British kid comes in and destroys them academically. That I probably could understand a little better. But like the fact that but I guess they didn't really do anything physical for the race, though. You know what I mean?
Well, they did the obstacle course where they had to do like climbing that rock
True,
wall, the
yeah.
zip line,
How did they
the
get
monkey
over that rock
bars.
wall? Because
They never
didn't
showed it.
looked like they could have if
Yeah.
they wanted to.
But I don't know, man. Like, there's some unrealistic things put into this movie, which is okay. It's a Disney movie. I get it. But I'm going to be with Madison on this. I gave it a 6.5. Ben Stiller's the best part of the movie, and the guy who plays Lars. So
Yeah. And that guy's not in anything else but Critters.
he's.
Oh, he's
I
in
think he's
other
in
I'm
other
sure he's
stuff.
been in other things, but that
I've seen him in other
I've
stuff. I just don't know what.
yeah, that's just what I know him from. Well,
Buddy!
Buddy!
You broke my camera.
this is my first time watching this, so I've never seen this like when I was a kid or anything.
So you don't have the nostalgia. Oh man,
Nope.
that sucks.
I watched it when I was a kid.
never watched
multiple
it.
times.
When I was a kid. So I got heavily a Disney Channel movie vibe, and I got it from her era vibe.
Oh really?
I did. 100%. So like I got this
From
cheesy
her era vibe.
I got a cheesy over the
Really?
top.
Because this puts me in the
Yeah.
idea of like the Little Rascals movie, like that sort of like
No.
movie.
Because we have the
No.
nostalgia for it.
Yeah, like
No.
you didn't get that from this at
No,
all. Really?
not at all.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-mm. I got cheesy over the top.
Right.
Like the kids laying it on thick with the overly nice, we're all friends. It didn't land for me at all. Sorry.
It's so you don't have to
Like
let
I said, I laughed a couple of times. There was decent humor in it, but it was all just, it's like, you go back and you watch a movie that you were fond of when you were a kid, and then you go back and watch it now and you were like, no,
Right.
not anymore. I wasn't entertained. Ben Stiller was good, but like I said, I was expecting the White Goodman thing, and instead I was like,
Oh, this guy's actually kind of evil.
I don't like this guy at
Yeah.
all.
And that was I don't think you're supposed to like him at all.
No, I understand that completely, and that's totally fine. It's just I was expecting White Goodman, from everybody's comparisons, and that's not what I
Then you
got.
should have talked to me first because I could have set you up for that because I knew like the White Goodman thing. I was like, okay, understandably, but at the same time, like I remember Tony Perkis being more evil than White Goodman as a kid. I'm like Tony Perkis was a motherfucker to me
Yeah.
as a child. I'm like, this dude is a fucking. I mean, I guess I say child. I was like, how old was I whenever this came? I would have been fucking. I guess I'd have been like 9 or 10 when this movie
Yeah.
came out. So yeah, he was a fucker to me. I was like, this guy's a douche.
Yeah.
I can't stand this dude.
I'm just saying, I guess I was just expecting one thing, and then, you start watching it, and I was just like, nah, this guy's terrible, So, yeah, it just didn't land for me, so I'm giving it a 4.
That's fine.
You're up.
Okay.
So I still got with that nostalgia for it.
No,
I
but
mean,
fuck you though, Karen.
yeah,
I was just,
I still got the nostalgia for it because I used to watch it when I was a kid.
yeah, I've seen this movie
Yeah,
probably 10 or 20 times. So.
yeah. And it probably won't be the last time I see it. I'll probably show it to the kids. But it still has that corniness.
See, I love that
cheesy-
you say you're going to show it to your kids. The only kid that I have that's interested in movies is this one.
Yeah.
The other two, like Jackson likes his action movies, and now I think he's starting to like dip his toes a little bit in the horror movie stuff. But Gavin doesn't give a fuck about movies. That kid
Aiden-
does not care about movies at
Here
all.
Aiden
anymore, the only
won't-
thing I can get Jack to watch is horror. Like, that's the only thing he's interested in watching is horror.
That's crazy.
Aiden and Carson really aren't really too much into them, but the rest of them will sit down and watch movies. But anyways, back to what I was saying. It's still got that corny, cheesy Disney aspect to it, which still throws you off. But I mean, as you get older, you see more of it. But as far as like with Lars and Ben Stiller and the other actors, I feel like they pulled it off. I'm going to come in and say probably a 6 for me.
All right, so that is a 5.75.
Sounds about right, honestly.
For heavyweights, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on into our Rotten Tomato stuff.
45.
We're almost 2 hours in.
Oh,
Offer Critics.
Critics, yeah.
60.
45.
I'll go 60.
You said 45. I'll say 53.
Eric's going to take this one. It's a 50%. Right down the middle.
Really?
Yep. All right, what about your audience reviews?
43.
I'll stay at 60.
For audience, I'll stay with 53.
What'd you say?
60.
It's 53.
43.
Do your math.
Wait, you said what now?
60.
Sorry, okay. Karen's going to get this one. It's 77%.
Oh my god.
Audience actually likes this movie. Probably nostalgic, mostly
Yeah.
nostalgia, I'm sure. I know going through a lot of these, it was hard to find just 1 stars. A lot of them were like 3, 4, a couple of, like, there were some 5s in there.
Did they add stars back on?
Yeah, they're stars.
Okay.
But all right, so here's a 1 star. Proof that everything Judd Apatow touches doesn't turn to gold. Pretty fucking ordinary. Here's another 1.5 stars. I hate the year 1995.
Well, 1995 hates you too.
I'm just like, wow, to hate an entire year, which I understand. I kind of
mean,
hate the year
yeah.
2016. I think I hate that year specifically because that was whenever everybody started being offended by everything. That's whenever the world. That's whenever our country started to take a fucking nosedive. Was the year 2016.
Yeah.
And I want to say, and I'm not going to blame it on Trump, but it's also because of Trump. Like whenever he got in, like whenever he ran for president, I was like, okay, our country is a laughingstock now not because I don't like him, but I don't like him. Like, do I think he's a good president? Yeah, he was okay, but I think that everybody started looking at us like, wow, your country is a fucking joke. You're offended by everything, and you've got this guy who fucking spray tans as your president, and you know what I mean? Like, it just became
You think
We
this
became the
unreal
laughing
thing,
stock of.
huh?
We became the
Yeah,
laughing
it became
stock.
this like unreal. Our country became this like unreal idiocracy. Started to like take fold.
Oh, yeah.
It started to look like that movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit. Our country really is full of idiots. Like, we are a bunch of idiots. We're a bunch of people who look to celebrities for answers instead of actual intelligent people. Like, that's ridiculous to me. So this is where I'm like, that's why I hate the year 2016, because all of that started to become more true.
So you can understand the critic's perspective.
A little bit, yeah. Like, I understand, dude. There's probably a reason why you hate 1995. 1 star.
He started seeing it before we all did.
Yeah, so this goes into the 1 star. Showed us Dwight Goodman before Dodgeball.
Like I said, I see a little bit of it, but I don't see.
Wait, does he say Dwight Goodman?
Yeah, it's supposed to be White Goodman.
It's white. It's white.
All right, this is my last one. I didn't find a lot of like 1 and 2, like 1.5 stars. 1.5 stars. Ben Stiller truly wasted his time and effort. I disagree, because Ben Stiller did a pretty good job in the movie, and he's the biggest. He is the reason why the movie stands out.
I agree.
So
Yeah.
but anyway, that's all though. I didn't do a lot. I'm glad I didn't actually, because
We're running low.
pretty low on time.
I don't have much.
All right, well, we're gonna get into trivia with Karen.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
As part of his first date with his eventual wife, Judd Apatow tried to impress Leslie Mann by showing her this film. Originally, the Seymour Butts joke was supposed to be a Peter Fitz joke. Josh was going to tell Tony that the Chipmunk Bunk snack hoard belongs to Peter Fitz. Then Tony asks, "Who's Peter Fitz?" Josh answers with, "Anyone Peter Fitz if you push hard enough."
Oh my god!
The joke was changed to Seymour Butts
I'm
to be
sure.
more family friendly. When Ben Stiller played the parts of both Tony Perkins and his father, the Bushkins were played by his actual parents, Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira.
I didn't know that was his real mom.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Aaron Schwartz, Sean Weiss, and Kenan Thompson all starred in at least one of the Mighty Ducks movies. Schwartz in the first as Carp, Thompson in D2 and D3, and Russ Tyler and Weiss in all 3 as Goldberg. Sean Weiss was originally not interested in acting in the film, but he changed his mind when he found that if he did not act in Heavyweights, he would not be allowed to act in D3, The Mighty Ducks.
So he actually had a huge drug problem after these movies, and he just does not look good anymore. I think he's off the drugs now, but like he's like super thin. He's aged terribly, and it's all because of all the
Who
drugs
is
he
it?
did. The guy who played Josh, the funny guy, the big funny guy, who's always cracking jokes. We called him Captain.
Oh.
Yeah, the big funny guy. Yeah, the one whose dad.
The kid.
Yeah, the one whose dad was a lawyer, threatened to sue.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh, that's it. Oh, okay. That was simple.
Told you I didn't have much.
All right. Right. So heavyweights. I'm kind of glad that one's over with because at first I was like, oh, cool, let's do that movie. But getting into it, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of dumb. Like, I don't really care to do this movie now. And I don't know if it's because it's Disney or if it's just because I don't care about the movie that much anymore. Like, yeah, it's got some nostalgia for me, but not like...
To me, it was just, like, again, I didn't watch it when I was a kid, but I got that vibe, like, when you go back and you watch something when you were a kid that you were fond of, but you go back and watch it now, and you're like, I'm not a kid anymore. This is not entertaining to me anymore. That's
kind of where I was at with it, too. Like, I could see Madison liking it or one of the boys liking it.
I like childish TV shows.
But, like, this
well,
is...
I mean, even in my, early... in my teens and in my 20s, I still like some of that stuff too,
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, I don't care for that stuff anymore.
I don't blame you. I'm on that same level. I'm like, yeah.
I've been watching Once Upon a Time since I was 8, right? I still take that show very seriously.
Oh, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Ninja Turtles, for the love of God.
No
hey,
shit.
this one threw itself out.
Threw itself out.
My intuition?
The Shape of Water.
Ooh.
Never heard of it.
Neither
It's
have
a Guillermo del Toro movie.
I'll tell you, the first time around, I wasn't a fan, but
Oh,
we'll try
man,
it
I
again.
absolutely love this movie.
I know.
Yeah, sorry.
Was it
It's
a
fine.
horror
No,
movie,
maybe
comedy?
I'll.
It could be
I-
considered
I
horror.
will always go in with an open mind.
It's a monster movie, but it's not a scary monster movie.
No.
I don't know. I just think that the
It's
set
something-
desigthat it's a beautiful movie with beautiful music.
I love that. I love that aesthetic. That what do they call that? That 19.
Like 1950s, 40s look.
Yeah,
like
what do they call
It's
that?
called
I
an
love that. I
aesthetic.
love that whole
like
aesthetic.
that noir sort of.
It's called aesthetic.
No, what's that?
What's the name? What's the aesthetic?
What's
that
that?
aesthetic
What's
called?
the name of that aesthetic?
I don't know.
Shoot.
It's like a noir sort of like
Yeah,
aesthetic.
yeah, like the nuclear.
Oh yeah, like the
that
nuclear age. Yeah,
the nuclear age. Like I love that
Yeah.
whole look. God, I love that stuff. I love the way the movie looks.
Yeah, it
Don't-
looks
don't
great.
get me
It's
wrong. I
beautifully
love the
lit,
look.
beautiful set designs,
Uh-huh.
beautiful music. I mean, it's just a gorgeous movie.
What's it on, Eric?
Give me a second.
Oh.
I think I'm
didn't
gonna
get it
buy
up
it
yet.
because I don't own it, and I should because I love the movie.
Dude, Karen, you'd
What's
be
it
so
called
proud of
again?
me. I've been
Shape
riding
of
a
Water.
skateboard.
I watched it
for-
because you told me
Shape.
to.
I've been riding a
of
skateboard for over a week, and I only just now today fell for the first time and ripped my jeans.
That's amazing.
Look, I put a hole in them.
If
Good
it
girl.
loads.
Like, I fell hard. I haven't fallen off of anything since
You
I
can
was
get the
like,
Criterion Collection 4K Ultra HD for $35.
I also think I pulled something in my foot because it hurts,
Ouch.
and my foot is bruised.
I think I would, so I can buy
It's
the
not loaded
4K
up for
Ultra
me.
HD for $27. I think I'm gonna buy that one.
Both my knees are skinned too.
Ooh, they got a hardcover. Oh no, this is like is it a book?
Yeah, it's not popping up for me. It's for some reason my phone's acting up. It's not letting me search it.
It's not streaming anywhere.
Looks like you guys are gonna have to buy it.
What if I already have it?
God damn it, I'm signed out. What the hell? Oh, this is Crystal's account.
Or do I get to rent it?
Yeah, you can rent it for.
You can probably rent it about anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so next week we're going to be doing The Shape of Water. What year? I think it was 20.
It wouldn't
I
let
was
me-
just there.
It won't let me
16,
load anything
2017, maybe even actually later than that.
2017.
2017. Yeah, so if you guys haven't seen it, please go watch the movie. It's a very good movie. It's going to get a lot of praise out of me next week, so because I absolutely love this movie.
I go into it with an open mind.
Well, I'm also a big Creature from the Black Lagoon fan. Like, I love the old black and white movie.
I love creature features.
So, like, that's another reason why I think I like this movie so much, because I appreciate that movie so much.
Sure.
Yeah, I just ordered it, so my 4K version will be here soon. But anyway, next week, Shape of Water. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff down there, and I guess till we see y'all next week.
Yes.
Peace out, bro.
Bye.
Goodbye.